Suspense.
Tonight's Suspense brings you an all-star cast of Hollywood's finest radio players in the premiere of a remarkable story by Ray Bradbury called Ryabushinska.
But first, we'd like to remind you that in hotels, restaurants, and homes of distinction, wherever hospitality is a gracious art, the knowing host serves Cresta, Blanca, Cresta Blanca. Cresta Blanca. Yes, the famous name of Cresta Blanca is a symbol of good taste and good living wherever discriminating people gather. And when you serve proud Cresta Blanca California wines, you pay guests the highest compliment a host can offer. So, distinguish your table by pouring Cresta Blanca Burgundy or Cresta Blanca Sauterne. Yours to enjoy for gracious dining. Shenley's Cresta Blanca Wine Company, Livermore, California.
And now, Shenley brings you radio's outstanding theater of thrills,
Suspense.
Presented by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A. Roma Wines of Fresno, California, for your everyday enjoyment. Tonight, starring Joseph Kearns, Lorene Tuttle, Wally Mayer, and Armina Faye in Ryabushinski, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Shenley by William Spear.
Mr. Ockham had a look about him in death as he had had in life. A general appearance which might prompt one to say, there's a man who'll one day be stabbed, or shot, or booted in the head. And although Mr. Ockham had not met his end in any of the aforementioned ways, he had been strangled, and he was dead. Dead on the floor of a theater cellar. Yes, Mr. Ockham was deceived, and nobody seemed to care. Nobody but Detective Lieutenant Krovich, who'd been sent down to have a look around. On a table he saw a small, polished bronze box with certain words on the lid which read, Ryabushinska, property of John Fabian, world's greatest ventriloquist. Krovich looked from the box to the three figures standing stiffly before him. They were John Fabian, ventriloquist, Alice, his wife, and Bernard Douglas, Fabian's press agent. As Krovich lit his cigar, it happened.
Please let me out. Oh, please let me out.
The four people looked with startled eyes at the box on the table. Then Fabian, the ventriloquist, stepped forward and spoke earnestly.
No, Rhea. This is serious business, darling. You stay where you are.
Please, Rob. You should be kind to me now after what's happened.
If you don't mind, Fabian, we'll have the dummy act at another time. Now, let's get this matter clear. Each of you testify that you don't know who this dead Mr. Ockham is, yet he told the stage manager tonight that he knew Mr. Fabian and wanted to see him about something important.
Let me out.
Oh, stop it, Fabian.
Pay no attention to her, Lieutenant.
Her? You mean you? What is this? Get together, you two.
We'll never be together again. Never again after tonight.
Give me the key to the box, Fabian.
Thank you.
Krovich stood motionless, just looking down, seeing Ryabushinska lying in her box and not believing what he saw. He thought, there were nights in life when you dreamed, and this is what you dreamed. There were women you saw in life, far down the street, walking, fragile, far away, unattainable, and this tiny figure was one of them. There were voices that you heard singing high in a dark church loft, voices that made the candle flames shudder and dance to every cadence. And this was one of those voices. On a summer afternoon, you watched a spider gracefully spinning its cloudy web. And now, that web was Ryabushinska's evening dress, here and now. You had heard of honesty and intelligence and frankness and unafraidness all your life. And now, it looked straight up at you, fearlessly, shiningly, from a puppet's eye. She was so beautiful your throat closed and you were sad, because you knew that she was only a puppet. John Fabian tenderly picked up Ryabushinska.
Oh, isn't she beautiful? She's carved from the finest wood, Ryabushinska is. She's appeared in London, Paris, Rome, New York. Everyone in the world knows her and loves her. Many people question Ryabushinska's authenticity. They think she's really alive, that she's a midget. People just cannot believe she's constructed of wood.
John Fabian's wife, Alice, stood glaring at her husband with a look of pure hatred. But he was aware of no one but the lifelike figure he held in his arms. And speaking to him, it said,
Please don't go on about me, John. Alice doesn't like it.
Alice has never liked anything about you, Rhea.
Don't. Not here and not now, John. Tell me, Lieutenant, how did it all happen? I mean, about poor Mr. Ockham.
What is this?
You'd best return to your box, Ryabushinska.
But I don't want to. I have as much right to listen and talk. I'm as much a part of this murder as Alice. Or Mr. Douglas Eve.
Don't drag me into this, you little witch.
And the manner in which he replied made it obvious that Ryabushinska was more than an illusion to him, for he reacted to her as to a real person.
It's just that I want the truth to be told. And if I'm locked in my bronze casket, there will be no truth. For John Fabian is a consummate liar, and I must watch him. That's right, isn't it, John?
Yes, I imagine it is.
John loves me best of all the women in the world. And I love him. And try to understand his wrong way of thinking.
We're wasting time. If you think you'll interfere with my investigation, Fabian...
Lieutenant, I am helpless.
But she's in your throat.
No. She is in my heart, which is much deeper. Sometimes I'm powerless. Sometimes she is only herself, nothing of me at all. Sometimes she tells me what to do, and I must do it. She watches over me, reprimands me, is honest where I am dishonest, ethical where I am wicked as old sin. She lives her life, I live mine. She's raised a wall in my head between herself and me, and she lives there, ignoring me if I try to make her say improper things, but cooperating if I suggest the correct words in pantomime. So, if you intend going on, I'm afraid Rhea must be present. Though locking her up will do no good.
Lieutenant Krovich sat quietly for a few moments. Then he seemed to make a decision.
All right. Let us stay. Maybe before the night's over, I'll be tired enough to ask even a ventriloquist dummy questions.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you Ryabushinska. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A. Roma Wines, selected from the world's greatest reserves of fine wines. Some hosts have a way of making you feel completely welcome whenever you drop in for a visit. Theirs is the kind of hospitality that says, come in and make yourself at home. Well, such is the hospitality of millions of Americans who always keep Roma California wines on hand. For Roma wines lend sparkle and companionship to any occasion. And there's a Roma wine to please every taste. For friendly entertaining, serve nut-like golden amber Roma sherry, rich red Roma port, or mellow flame-bright Roma muscatel. You'll find that these better-tasting Roma wines add warmth and charm to any get-together, brighten those restful stay-at-home evenings with your family. Tomorrow, solve your problem of what to serve when friends drop in with Roma wines. That's R-O-M-A. Roma Wines, America's largest selling wines.
And now Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Ermina Feige as narrator, Joseph Kearns as Fabian, the ventriloquist, and Wally Mayer as Detective Krovich in Ryabushinska, a play well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Once more, Mr. Douglas, do you recognize the dead man?
No. He looks somewhat familiar. An actor type, I believe.
One of you three is lying. From the condition of Occam's shoes, his worn clothing, he needed money. Are you in love with Mrs. Fabian?
Why,
Really, Lieutenant?
I've been watching you, your actions.
My actions?
Yes. The way you look at Rio Buchinska's box, the way you hold your breath when she appears, the way you knot your fingers when she talks, the way you stare at her.
If you think for one moment that I'm jealous of a little piece of wood...
Aren't you?
No, I'm not jealous of her.
You needn't tell him, Alice.
Let her.
They all stared at the figurine, even Fabian, the ventriloquist, as if her cry had come from an alien throat.
Alice, tell them.
I married John 7 years ago. He said he loved me. I loved him, and I loved Ria Buchinska, too. At first, anyway. But then I began to see that he really paid more attention to her than he did to me. I began to feel hatred. Not for Ria Buchinska, because it wasn't her fault. But I felt a terrible hatred for John, because I knew it was all his fault. His cleverness, his sadistic temperament. Each jealousy on my part was a tribute to the perfection of his art. She came out of him like a woman out of a dark god. But I don't hate Ria. She's lovely, sweet, and honest. Everything that John isn't.
Tell about Mr. Douglas.
When I got no understanding, no love from John, I turned to Mr. Douglas.
Uh-huh. The dead man was a blackmailer. He came to the theater tonight to see her husband about you. You killed him to prevent that interview.
I didn't kill him.
Douglas might have and not told you.
why kill a man? John knew all about it.
I did indeed.
The next day, Lieutenant Krovich was back.
Yes, come in.
Ah, Fabian, I have something here which might interest you.
With a tight grin on his face, Lieutenant Krovich held out the photograph of a woman. Fabian stared at the shiny picture before him, and then he fell back in his chair. He shut his eyes as if with a great ache in his head. Krovich turned the picture over carefully and began to read from the typewritten data on the back.
Name, Ilya Ryamansk. Weight 100 pounds, blue eyes, black hair, oval face. Born 1914, New York City. Disappeared 1934. Believed a victim of amnesia, of Russian Slav parentage.
Oh, no.
You know, Fabian, it was pretty silly to go through the files for a picture of a ventriloquist dummy. They all laughed at headquarters. And yet, here she is, Ria Buchinska. Not papier-mâché, not wood, not a puppet. But a woman who once lived and moved about and disappeared. Take it from there, Fabian.
Well, Lieutenant, there's nothing to it. I saw her picture long ago. Liked her looks and copied my puppet after her.
Nothing to it, huh? Listen, Fabian, this morning I went through a stack of Billboard magazines that high. In the year 1934, I found an interesting article concerning an act playing the smaller circuits, known as Fabian and Sweet William. Sweet William was a little male dummy. As usual in such acts, there was a girl assistant, Ilya Ryamansk. Look at that picture. The resemblance between the real woman on one hand and Ria Buchinska, the puppet, on the other, is startling.
She was my assistant, but that was all. I simply used her as a model.
It all starts and ends with Ria Buchinska. Why should you love a puppet so intensely? Because you love the original woman intensely.
All right. In 1934, I was billed as Fabian and Sweet William. Sweet William was a small, bulb-nosed little boy dummy I carved years ago. I was playing Los Angeles when this girl, Ilya Ryamansk, appeared at the stage door one night. She wanted a job. I remember. It was autumn.
John Fabian remembered Ilya Ryamansk in the half-light of the stage alley. He remembered how startled he was at her fresh beauty, her eagerness, the way the rain, when it came down through the narrow alley, caught in her dark hair and touched her feverish cheeks. She became his assistant, worked in the act. And in 4 short months, he who had always denied and scoffed at love became hopelessly lost with this woman. Then there were arguments, and things much more than arguments. Things done and said that were violent and unfair. He wanted her to marry him. She never quite accepted. He went into hysterical rages at her. Once he destroyed her wardrobe. That much she had taken. But it was somewhat different on that last night when he had shouted at her, taken hold of her, and slapped her brutally 3 times across the face.
And Ilya Ryamansk vanished that night. Vanished. The police questioned me. There was talk of murder, but she was gone with no trace. A record of her was sent to all the larger cities. That was the end of it for the police. But not for me. The knowledge of her going was too much. She might be dead or just run away, but wherever she was, I knew I needed her. One night I returned home more depressed than usual. I collapsed on a chair. And before I knew it, I found myself speaking to Sweet William in the totally dark room. William. Oh, this is all over and done. I can't go on.
Coward, you can get her back if you want.
No, I can't. No, I can never get her back.
Yes, you can. Think of a way to get her back. Think of a way. Come on, you can do it. Put me away. Start all over.
Start all over?
Yes. Begin carving. Exactly. And slowly and lovingly. Carving. Make the little arching nostrils just so. And cut her black, thin eyebrows round and high. And make her cheeks in small duplicate hollows. And...
No, it's monstrous. I can never do it.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could.
And the voice faded away like a water ripple in a dark cave. Blackness rushed over Fabian. His head fell forward. He whimpered. And Sweet William sighed. And then they both lay silent and solemnly unconscious. The next morning, John Fabian purchased the best grained piece of wood he could buy. But when he reached home, despair seized him. How could he fashion his warm Ilya from this cold wood? How could he shape this dumb block of dead substance into anything faintly approximating her glowing life?
Go on.
It was Sweet William who egged him on.
You can do it.
And for 20 weeks he worked. He carved her hands into things as natural and beautiful as shells lying in the sun. And Sweet William lay dust-cloaked in his box, from time to time feebly quoking some sarcasm, some criticism, some hint, some help. But he was dying, soon to be untouched, inanimate wood. As weeks passed and Fabian molded and scraped and polished the new wood, Sweet William lay longer and longer in stricken silence. And one day, as Fabian held the puppet in his hand, Sweet William seemed to look at him a moment with puzzled eyes. And then there was a death rattle in his throat. And Sweet William was gone. And now, as Fabian carved, a fluttering, an attempting of speech in his throat began echoing, re-echoing the sounds of Ilya Ryamansk. At the year's ending, he was thinned and without money. But by then he had searched his stream of consciousness, experimented and given the doll all the gracious mannerisms and shy gestures of the real woman. And then, at last, he held Ilya Ryamansk in his arms again. They were together. He could talk to her and she could reply. And the first thing he made the little creature say was,
I love you, John Fabian.
Oh, Rhea.
I see. And your wife?
Alice, she was another of my assistants. She did her work well. She loved me. I don't know why I married her.
I see. What about the dead man, Arkham?
I'd never seen him before until you showed me his body in the cellar.
That's not true. Don't lie, John Fabian.
Fabian's cheeks drained white and the bones jutted out tensely. The puppet spoke, looking straight at Krovich.
John received the first blackmail letter a month ago. It said simply, Ryabushinska, born 1914, died 1934. Born again in 1930...
Fabian seemed paralyzed, unable to answer. He had a trapped, helpless, insane expression. His lips trembled. He searched the room as if seeking some way out where a frustration and a truth did not wait to bar his way.
Arkham threatened to expose me to the world.
Go on.
I wanted my love for Ilya kept to myself. What sort of a love would it be in the future if people really guessed the significance of my carving this figurine that talked and moved? People would laugh or be disgusted. Perverted, criminal mind, they'd shout. Ugly, horrible, revolting. And how could I play my love scenes with Rhea anymore when they knew? Not when with every word I uttered, someone in the audience would nudge someone else and whisper, "She lived once, you know, but disappeared. They say he killed her. They say he loved her."
How much did Arkham want?
$1,000 to start with, and more later.
And so you killed him.
No, I didn't kill Arkham, Lieutenant. I paid him $1,000.
We found no money on him.
Nevertheless, I paid him. Alice and Douglas must have heard our conversation. They've wanted to be rid of me for years now. I'm not blind. Alice saw a way of ridding herself of me and getting some money, too. Why, she's nothing but a...
Just a moment. There's something I wish to say. And yet I can't say it.
Krovich turned. He saw John Fabian's eyes widen in his head, as if a terrible conflict were raging, fighting within. His throat convulsed again and again, and lines cut deep in his cheeks, and the hollows of his face sank in.
I was in the room when Mr. Arkham came.
No, Rhea.
I lay in my bunk, and I listened, and I heard, and I know.
No.
Mr. Arkham threatened to destroy me, tear me up, burn me into ashes, if John didn't pay him $1,000.
Liz. And then suddenly...
There came a falling sound. Mr. Arkham's head must have struck the floor. I heard Mr. Fabian cry out, swearing and sobbing all in one. I heard a hissing, gasping, choking, horrible sound.
You heard nothing. You're deaf and dumb and blind and lifeless. You heard nothing. Your ears are calm.
But they hear. And then the hissing, choking sound stopped. I heard John drag Mr. Arkham to the door, open it, and take Mr. Arkham down the stairs, under the theater, toward the old dressing room that hadn't been used in years. Down they took the body.
It was a scene so incongruous, so impossible, so completely beyond the veil of sanity and reason that Krovich recoiled even as he watched. If ever in the time of the world the forces that manipulate men struggled one side against the other, this was the time. The shocked, pallid face of John Fabian wrenching, the horrible protrusion of the eyes, the clenching of the teeth as a censor, then relaxing again, the subtle move of the throat, and the high, sad, and accusative voice of Ryabushinska leaping from her tiny, shining lips. Fabian must have known what was happening, and yet he did not know.
I'm not made to live this way. There's nothing for us now, anyway, because the world will know of us. Even when you killed him and I lay in my bronze box last night, I realized, we both realized that these were our last hours. Because while I've accepted your weaknesses and lies, I can't exist in murder. It couldn't have gone on. No one can live side by side with such knowledge.
Fabian took her in his arms and held her high into the warm sunlight. She looked down at him with her clear, honest way of seeing him. There were angry, helpless tears in his eyes. His hand shook, and in shaking made her tremble too. Her mouth closed and open, silent, gaping and shutting again and again with no words. Fabian began to sob. He closed his fingers unbelievingly around his own throat. His eyes numbed. He looked like a man trying to remember something beautiful. Her voice, how it sounded, how to make it sound again. How to make her take back all she had said that was the truth.
No. She's gone. She's gone. And I can't find her. I try, but I can't find her. She's run off behind the dark wall. And so deep down and far away in the night, I'll never be able to find her again. Yes, she's gone.
Ryabushinska slipped bonelessly from his limp hand, folded over and glided noiselessly down to lie upon the cold, dirty floor. Her eyes closed, her mouth gently sealed. Fabian didn't even look at her as Krovich led him away.
Suspense.
And so closes Ryabushinska, starring Armana Paige as narrator, Joseph Kearns as Fabian, Wally Mayer as Krovich, and Lorene Tuttle as Rhea. Tonight's study in suspense, presented by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A. Roma Wines, America's largest selling wines. Yes, more Americans do enjoy Roma wines than any other wines. And this is Truman Bradley to tell you why. It's because Roma wines taste better. You see, Roma selects and presses only the choicest California grapes. Then, with ancient skills and unmatched wine-making resources, Roma master vintners guide this luscious grape treasure unhurriedly to tempting perfection. These finer Roma wines are placed with other mellow Roma wines to await later selection for your enjoyment from the world's greatest reserves of fine wines. This weekend, give your family and friends a surprise. Serve delicious Roma California Sherry. Roma Sherry is a glorious gold and amber wine, soft and mellow on the tongue, with a delightful nut-like taste that's a perfect invitation to dining pleasure. And remember to insist on Roma. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Sherry, because more Americans enjoy Roma wines than any other wines.
Tonight's Suspense radio play was by Mel Donnelly from a short story by Ray Bradbury. Be sure to listen next Thursday, same time, to Suspense. Produced and directed by William Spear for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
KNX Columbia Square, Los Angeles.
Suspense. Tonight, Columbia brings you, as a guest star, Peter Lorre, one of the screen's past masters of the art of suspense. Suspense is compounded of mystery and intrigue and dangerous adventure. In this series are stories calculated to intrigue you, to stir your nerves, to offer you a precarious situation, and then withhold the solution until the last possible moment. Tonight, for instance, Mr. Lorre plays for us a doctor, a husband, with something dark and terrible on his mind. Was it murder? And if so, can this at last be the really perfect crime? We trust that while you are wondering, we shall keep you in suspense.
For Suspense tonight, CBS presents Till Death Do Us Part by John Dixon Carr, starring Peter Lorre.
Late one night in December of 1941, a man and his wife sat beside the fire in their country cottage. This man, look at him. A professor of mathematics, stout and middle-aged, guileless as a child. In the remote corner of England where he lives with his pretty English wife, they say of him...
Jolly decent fellow, you know, for a foreigner.
Isn't he? Always a smile for everybody, and so polite. That's why it's such a shame about his wife and that young American. There hasn't been anything between them yet, I'm almost sure. But if the American stays here much longer...
Shh, I tell you.
A happy man, this Professor Kraft. His cottage in the country is rather isolated. 3 miles from the nearest house. No electricity or central heating or telephone. And on December nights like this, a great wind comes rushing off the Sussex Downs. It rattles at the windows, growls in the chimney, and makes unsteady the oil lamp on the table. Professor Irwin Kraft sits before the fire in a snug book-lined room. And across from him, sewing, sits his young wife, Cynthia. A domestic scene. A very domestic scene.
Oh, my pet, this is wonderful, isn't it? Oh, so nice and cozy. How I enjoy our little home. It's a pleasure to be indoors on a night like this, isn't it?
Yes.
Did my darling have a good day?
Just about as usual.
No adventures, huh?
Not exactly. I walked into the village.
Walked? Oh, I really blame myself for burying you out here. I ought to get your car.
That's not necessary, thanks.
Come now, come. Did something happen to upset my little pet today?
No.
You know, darling, I look at you and I marvel.
You marvel at what?
At a wife who can actually blush. Yes, with a skin so fair and a conscience so transparent that she can actually blush.
I wasn't blushing about...
About what?
About anything you might be thinking. It's your horrible habit of putting everybody else in the wrong.
Oh, but the neighbors don't think that about Papa Croft.
Neighbors don't have to live with you. I do.
And you mustn't scratch either. Not when we are so snug here, so cozy, and the kettle on the fire's nearly boiling, and the rum is ready, and the lemon juice, and the sugar for her medicine.
Oh, and must I drink that stuff? I don't like rum.
But you have a cold, darling.
I haven't got a cold. Really, I haven't.
Now, darling, twice today I heard you cough. Now, you are going to take your medicine, Cynthia, and take it here and now, and not offend your clumsy old husband by refusing.
Why do you keep on treating me like a girl of 16?
I love to treat you like that, Cynthia, because I cannot fathom your thoughts. You lock up your thoughts, and that is a dangerous English habit. You see, thoughts accumulate and won't be stifled. And sooner or later, when you least expect it...
Well, look out. The kettle's boiling over.
So it is.
Owen, please, lift it down from there.
Of course. I apologize. My darling. There.
For a second, you know, you almost frightened me.
Huh? I frightened you?
I suppose it's foolish.
Well, here we are, my dear. Here we are. Now, see, I put 2 tumblers on the coffee table. And now, a spoon in each so that the heat doesn't crack them.
My dear, must you give me so much rum? Can't I have the small one?
But we have to cure that cold of yours, Cynthia. Now comes the lemon juice. Yes. And now comes hot water to the top. Here we are. And 2 lumps of sugar for each of us. There you are, darling. Now let's drink up, huh?
Owen, listen.
I didn't hear anything.
I did. It came from that cupboard over there. It sounded like your accordion.
Oh, that's nonsense, darling. That's nonsense.
There it is again.
Well, that's only the wind. Or perhaps a rat that got into the cupboard.
Owen, I'm terrified of rats. Go and kill it, would you mind?
Oh, you really sit very heavy labors, my sweet, for one of my weight. Well, if you insist, all right. Well, I'll take a good heavy poker from the fireplace. And, of course, it means a little trip to the cupboard.
Owen, never mind.
You haven't changed your mind, have you?
It'd probably run out across the floor. Come back.
Wouldn't run very far, I'm sure. Well, again, if you insist.
I can't think what's the matter with me tonight.
No?
No,
You're sure nothing upset you in the village today, huh?
certainly not.
How about this young American, that fledgling doctor? What's his name?
You mean Dr. Craig?
That's it, Dr. Craig. Dr. Craig. Didn't someone say he was leaving today for London and then back to the States?
I believe so. That's what Lady Randolph told me.
And you didn't say goodbye to him?
Certainly not.
Wow, that wasn't kind of you, darling. That wasn't friendly. What's the matter? Don't you like my nice hot rum drink?
No. But you'll give me no peace till I do drink it.
That's right, darling. That's right. Now, take it down like a good girl. I'm keeping you company. See? Oh, how pretty she looks. With her yellow hair in the firelight. And her red mouth. And her light little hands. Very pretty. Oh, there is just one other thing, Cynthia. I gave you a letter to post this afternoon. Did you post it?
Yes.
Registered?
Yes.
And did you notice to whom the letter was addressed?
Everybody notices the address on an envelope. It was to some Mr. Hatherby at Market Shepherd.
That's right.
But I don't know who he is, if that's what you mean.
Oh, Mr. Hatherby is the coroner of this district.
The coroner?
That's right. That's right.
But is there any reason why you should be writing letters to the coroner?
Well, there will be tomorrow morning. We have been just drinking poison, my love. Why did you drop your glass, darling?
I don't believe you.
No? This will interest you, Cynthia. You were a trained nurse, and weren't you, You see, the poison was aconite, monkshood.
No.
Yes, homegrown in our own little garden. You know, 1/16 of a grain has been a fatal dose.
There's no telephone here. No car, not even a neighbor.
Exactly, my angel.
Take your hands off me. Let me get up.
No, my pet. In about 5 minutes, you see, the first symptoms will come on.
Symptoms?
Yes. Our throats will grow dry. Our eyesight will turn dim.
No.
And presently we'll lose the use of our limbs. Well, there are convulsions before the end, I believe, but we won't feel them.
Let me up.
If you try to hit at me, Angel, you'll upset that lamp. And, well, if you upset the lamp, this cottage would go up like tinder. We don't want to burn to death, do we?
Owen, why are you doing this? Why are you doing it?
Why? Do you think all Papa Kraft is blind, my pet? Huh? If I can't have you, Cynthia, nobody else is going to have you.
You mean Jim Craig?
So it is Jim Craig.
Oh, that was nothing. My tongue slipped.
A cynic would say, my dear, that your foot slipped. Do you think I don't know what happened the other night at the schoolhouse?
The schoolhouse?
Yes, the Market Shepherd Schoolhouse. At Lady Randolph's little concert in aid of the war relief.
Nothing happened. I swear it didn't.
No?
No.
Oh, then it was coincidence, I suppose, that you and that Dr. Craig didn't arrive until the concert was nearly over.
Yes. Yes, it was. We didn't go there together.
No?
We met in the little hall outside the auditorium. It was just as you were finishing your number on the accordion.
I beg your pardon. It's so dark here, I almost bumped into you. Isn't that Mrs. Kraft?
Yes. Good evening, Dr. Craig.
We seem to be late.
Very late, I'm afraid.
I was detained on a case.
I didn't feel like coming here at all.
Oh, just a moment before I open that door for you. Won't it look a little funny, our arriving here together?
Funny? Why should it?
No reason at all, only... Cynthia, listen to me.
Do you know, Dr. Craig, that's the first time you've ever called me by my first name.
I did want to have a word with you somehow. Of course, you've heard the news.
What news?
Well, on the radio for the past couple of days.
Oh, we're too far out to get much news, and my husband isn't interested.
He isn't interested. He isn't interested in anything but himself.
I'd rather you didn't talk that way about my husband.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Would you push the door open a little?
And in conclusion,
Lady Randolph is saying something.
I'm sure we've all enjoyed our friend Professor Kraft's musical numbers on the accordion. And the vicar's conjuring tricks. And little Miss Linshaw's spirited recitations. It only remains for me to tell you that the collection for this little entertainment will amount to the... Oh, yes, Colonel Thompson, what is it?
Colonel Thompson's going across the platform in rather a hurry. Looks like an announcement of some kind.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. We have just received some late news by the 9 o'clock bulletin.
I think I can guess what it is.
Following yesterday's declaration against Japan, the Congress of the United States today declared war against Germany and Italy. No applause, please. I think I can say that these things go too deep for applause. We entered a war lightly, and we have learned. But before the vicar ends this meeting, I shall ask the orchestra to play us the song numbered 83 in the book, a song we know is dear to the hearts of all Americans.
Close the door, Cynthia.
Jim, this doesn't affect you.
Naturally it does.
You won't be leaving England.
Probably in a very short time. They'll be needing doctors.
But does a formal declaration of war make any difference? What does it mean to you? What does it mean?
I can't explain it, Cynthia. It's all in that song. If they're going to need me, I'll go back.
But can't you do just as much good here in England?
I don't know. That depends on what the army says.
And doesn't anything depend on what I say?
We haven't got much time, Cynthia. That crowd will be out in a minute.
Yes.
And we won't admit it, will we?
Admit what?
Admit how we feel about each other.
I haven't said...
Nor I. I was only talking about what we were thinking.
No, we won't admit it. You say you can't explain about the war. I can't explain about this.
Don't try. It's better this way.
Irwin's been very good to me. And he's such a childlike person.
Yes. Everybody likes him.
Oh, he has his tempers, and he's not easy to live with sometimes, in spite of what they think. But I can't do anything to hurt him, because he'd never do anything to hurt me. Never, never, never in the world.
A very fair estimate of my character, too.
That's exactly what I said about you.
So you are in love with that fellow?
I admit it now. Yes.
Tell me, darling, do you feel anything yet?
Feel anything?
I mean, dryness? Muscular contraction of the throat?
Yes.
Oh, I thought so.
I won't die. I won't.
And how do you propose to stop yourself? Your only chance would be to reach the village infirmary. And I'll see to it that you don't get there.
But what if the poison takes you before it takes me? Then you can't stop me.
But it won't, darling.
You seem terribly sure of that.
You see, the amount I gave you, as you perhaps noticed, was more than I gave myself. I'm going to follow you, my little pet, into the dark, where there are no Dr. Jim Craigs, but not too quickly. I shall still have most of my faculties, Cynthia, when your convulsions are already beginning. Oh.
I wonder if you will.
Why do you say that?
Your legs don't seem any too steady.
I don't know. It must be the heat of the fire, perhaps, or it's very hot in this room. Cynthia, darling, listen to me.
Yes, Irwin?
There is a copy of Taylor's Medical Jurisprudence over on the shelf there. Please get it for me.
I'm afraid you'll have to get it for yourself, my dear. That is, if you can.
Oh, I'll get it.
Mind the lamp, Irwin. We don't want the house afire, just as you said yourself.
I'll mind the lamp. Listen to me. You know, some people's systems are intolerant to poisons. They experience in minutes what ought to take hours.
Does it hurt, Irwin? Does it hurt?
Yes. But you'll find out soon enough, my pet. Because you'll never make 3 miles to the village. Never.
You think not?
I know it. And just remember, I shall be waiting.
Waiting?
Out in the dark and cold, where there is neither marriage nor giving in marriage. I'll be waiting for my little pet to come and join me. I shall be waiting.
Irwin! Irwin! Oh. I hate you. I loathe you. I'm afraid of you. But I don't want you to die because of me. And yet, you are dead, Irwin. But I'm not going to join you. I've never prayed much, Irwin, but I'm praying now. Whatever comes over my wits and makes my senses weak, give me strength enough to get to the village. Just give me strength enough to get to the village.
An empty room now, except for the motionless figure by the fire. The great wind enters through an open front door and makes the lamp shake dangerously on the tables. The whole house creaks. Otherwise, it is very quiet. Suddenly, the corpse sits up. Professor Kraft looks pleased, doesn't he? Very pleased. very alert, as he moves over to a certain cupboard door.
Well, and now I think the real fun can begin. Patience, 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 my friend, while I open the cupboard door. Well, there we are. I hope you haven't been too uncomfortable, Dr. James Craig.
I'm all right, thanks.
So you managed to get the gag out of your mouth, huh?
I managed it, yes, just now. I'm too late.
Well, you are still securely tied up, I'm glad to say. You know, you gave me several very, very unpleasant moments, young man, when you got your foot on that accordion.
Did I?
Well, Cynthia thought you were a rat and wanted me to kill you. You know, she shows very good sense sometimes.
I could hear both of you talking. Thanks very much.
Oh, of course, you could, of course. Excuse me, please. I forgot that.
Yes, and I could see you, too, through a crack in the door.
Well, you were intended to see us. But now, come on. First of all, I'll drag you out of here. Yes, let me take you. Yes. Now we can sit down and have a nice, cozy little chat, huh?
How much aconite did you give Cynthia?
How much? Oh, about 2 grains.
2 grains? Well, then she can't possibly...
No, she can't possibly live until morning. But she can live long enough to testify that she saw me die.
And how much poison did you take yourself?
I? None.
None at all?
No, none at all.
But you mixed those drinks out of the same materials. I saw you do it.
Well, but there wasn't any poison in the rum, young man. You see, 2 lumps of sugar steeped in aconite were dropped into Cynthia's glass. I marked them, and I didn't make a mistake. Can you see the beginnings of Papa Croft's plan?
Why, you...
You see, Cynthia left the door open, my friend. And there is a very strong wind blowing tonight.
Well?
Just observe how it lifts the table covers, flutters the magazines, makes the lamp tremble. I shouldn't be surprised, you know, if one of those lamps blew over. A fine crash in a sheet of flame, huh? And when they come here tomorrow morning, after Cynthia's testimony and my letter to the coroner, they'll expect to find at least a few charred bones among the ruins. And, of course, they must find some remains.
Whose remains?
Yours.
Yes, you've got me tied up pretty well, haven't you?
And now, you see... Now comes the best. You were last seen going towards the railway station, to London, and then to America. Nobody will inquire after you.
Except Cynthia.
That's right, except Cynthia, who will be dead. That I waylaid you and brought you here while Cynthia was in the village will not be known to our good coroner, and I shall disappear. What do you think of it, young man, huh? I think it's rather good, huh?
You're going to let me burn to death?
Yes, and I shall enjoy the necessity. By the way, too bad you missed my performance at Lady Randolph's concert. It was very nice. But, then I think you were otherwise occupied.
You could call it that?
Occupied, I think, in making love to my wife. You hurt my vanity, young man, and you are going to suffer for it.
I never made love to your wife.
No?
No. But I don't suppose you could possibly believe that.
Are you already begging for mercy? Now, come on. Are you begging for mercy?
No, I think not.
Dr. Craig, I don't like the way you're taking this. I really don't.
Don't you?
No. You ought to be afraid. All decent men should be afraid. And no man is heroic when he sees death coming. But you're as white as a plate. You can't take your eyes off me. And you seem to be expecting something.
Maybe I am expecting something.
You are? Well, I think I can persuade you to tell me what's on your mind, my friend. If I use the poker out of the fire, huh? You see, I'm a mathematician. I leave nothing to chance.
Do you hear that, Professor Kraft? A car has stopped out in front.
Well, they won't come in here.
But of course they will. It's probably the home guard. Look, you fool, you've left the front door standing wide open in a blackout.
Don't be childish. Do you think to upset me with that?
Something's upset you. Take a look at yourself in a mirror.
Huh? Nothing. Nothing can upset my plans now. Everything is ready. My clothes and my money are in the stable. This place, this pretty little cottage, will be a furnace. All I have to do is pick up that lamp. You see, like this, and something is wrong with me.
Oh, you're not acting this time, are you? You're not pretending now.
You swine! What have you done to me?
I have done nothing.
You have done something to me. I can feel it. There is sweat all over me. My throat is choking.
This way, Lady Randall. Through the gate and up the path.
That sounded like my wife's voice.
It was Cynthia's voice.
What is wrong with you? A person would think you were drunk. I'm sorry, Lady Randall, stopping me in the road and asking to be taken to the infirmary at 80 miles an hour, and then finding there was nothing wrong with you.
But it can't be. It isn't possible.
Oh, but it is. You see, your plans didn't include the fact that Cynthia doesn't like rum. Remember, you poured a very large drink for her and a small one for yourself. And you filled both glasses with hot water. Oh, remember when she got you to leave her and come over to this cupboard?
Yes.
She changed the glasses then. You're the one who swallowed the poison, 2 grains of aconite.
No. Help me. Please. Help me.
Nothing on earth can save you.
Help me, please. In the name of pity, please. Please help me.
Nothing on earth can save you.
Please. No, you won't. Then I'll show you. I'll take you with me. I'll take everybody with me.
Where are you going?
I'll get that lamp. I'll take you with me.
Why, look at you. You can't even see. You're blind. You're staggering straight into that cupboard.
I'll take you. I'll take you with me. I'll take you.
Jim, what are you doing here?
Come in, Cynthia. Come in and take a look at the man who died twice.
And so ends Till Death Do Us Part, starring Peter Lorre. Tonight's story of Suspense. Columbia presents these tales of mystery and intrigue and dangerous adventure for your relaxation and enjoyment. Next Tuesday, there'll be another in this series. Same hour, 9:30 Eastern Wartime. Mr. Lorre was starred as Professor Kraft. He was supported by Alice Frost as Cynthia, David Gothard as Dr. Craig, and Mercedes McCambridge as Lady Randolph. William Spear, the producer, John Dietz, the director, Bernard Herrmann, the composer-conductor, and John Dixon Carr, the author, are collaborators on Suspense.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Now, Roma Wines present Suspense,
Tonight, The Night Man, starring Virginia Bruce and Richard Wolff.
Suspense, presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's Roma. Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness in entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant as Roma Wines bring you
Suspense. This is the Man in Black, here for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California, who tonight bring you as stars Miss Virginia Bruce and Mr. Richard Wolff. They appear in The Night Man, a new study in terror by Lucille Fletcher. It is a story of dark midnights and of a woman to whom the familiar face and voice of murder return for vengeance. But before we raise the curtain on our suspense play, here is a message from Roma Wines.
In many foreign countries where discerning tastes have found Roma wines, they are an inexpensive luxury, imported and treasured. For Roma wines are in every sense fine wines from the choicest vineyard country of California. They are products of age-old winemaking skill, aided by modern quality controls and tests that assure unvarying excellence of taste and character. Yet, Roma wines cost you mere pennies a glassful. Such enjoyable flavor and constant quality, such low cost, such high wine value, have made Roma by far America's largest selling wines, enjoyed by millions with meals when entertaining any time. Try Roma wine yourself. Tomorrow at dinner, no matter what you are serving, place on the table a cool bottle of ruby red, hearty Roma California Burgundy. See how much new zest it adds to food, how it makes a real occasion of even the simplest meal. To enjoy this extra mealtime pleasure, just ask your dealer for Roma, Roma wine, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world.
And now with the performances of Virginia Bruce as Stella Rhodes and of Richard Wolff as the Night Man, we again hope to keep you in suspense.
Warden Graves.
Yes, Miss Rhodes. Sit down, won't you?
Thank you. I hate to disturb you like this, but I've traveled clear across the country. They wouldn't give me the information over the phone.
I know.
You know what this visit is all about, Warden.
To some extent, yes. You think one of our prisoners, Tom Nixon, has escaped.
He has escaped. I'm as sure of it as I'm sure of sitting here now. I saw him at Lodge in New York City 2 days ago.
You knew Tom Nixon well, Miss Rhodes?
Knew him? Well, he was my mother's murderer. My mother was Mrs. George Rhodes of Huntington, Long Island. She ran a boarding house there. He killed her on September 18th, 1933.
We have all the records of the crime, Miss Rhodes.
Tom was Mother's chief boarder for 10 years. Know him? Why, I sat opposite him at dinner table from the time I was a girl of 15. I knew him as well as I knew Mother. I'd know him anyway.
I see.
And now he's at Lodge. He's free. He's escaped this place. Maybe you're not aware of it. Maybe even his fellow prisoners aren't aware of it. But he's wormed his way out. And he's after me. He's after me.
Oh, now, my dear young lady.
Warden Graves. 10 years ago, when Mother was found murdered, I knew it couldn't have been anyone but Tom. I testified against him. I was practically the only witness at the trial. And when they sentenced him here for life, he swore to kill me. He swore in the open court to get even with me. For 10 years, I've lived in deadly fear. I've watched the newspapers for prison breaks. I've moved from house to house, made few friends. He's hung over me like a shadow. Even though I told myself he was locked up here forever. And now it's come.
And where exactly did you see the prisoner, Miss Rhodes?
That's just the point. That's why I know he's after me. I saw him in my own apartment house.
Well.
He has a job there, running the elevator at night. That's what makes it so horrible. I've never married, Warden Graves. I live all alone in a small 3-room penthouse on the 18th floor of an office building. The other night, about a week ago, I came home alone from the movies after midnight. The big marble lobby of my building was deserted, except in a far corner near the elevator with his back toward me, there was a man, down on his hands and knees, scrubbing the floor. Good evening.
Evening.
Well, where is everybody? Isn't the elevator working tonight?
You want to go up in the elevator, Mum?
Certainly.
I'll be right with you. Okay, Mum. What floor?
I was in the elevator, and he had started to ascend before I really saw him. It was Tom. His hair had turned white, and there was a horrible stoop to his shoulders. But everything about him, the crook of his head, his high, thin, bony nose, the hollow cheekbones, were all the same. And then he turned and stared at me. I could see those deadly, pale, cold eyes, those heavy eyebrows, still black, that familiar, quiet, sarcastic mouth.
What floor, Mum?
My floor. Yes, the penthouse, please.
Penthouse? Where's that, on the roof?
Yes, on the roof, please. 18th floor.
Okay.
Warden Graves. It was like being in a cage with a wild beast. He kept watching me, peering at me furtively as the elevator moved with agonizing slowness up and up past the floors. I shrunk back, averting my face. The light in the car was dim. My only hope was that he did not recognize me.
Here's your floor, miss.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. You can go back down. I don't need anything, thank you.
What's the matter? Forgotten your door key?
No, it's right in my bag. I'll find it in a minute.
You want me to let you in?
Let me in? No, good Lord.
I got pass keys to all the doors. It's no trouble.
No, thanks, but No, I have it right here. Good night.
And that was the first time you saw him?
Yes. Oh, I wanted to die. I didn't know where to turn.
And that was all he did or said?
Yes, but it wasn't so much what he said as the awful resemblance, the feeling that he was only playing with me, torturing me like a cat with a mouse. Warden Graves, I didn't even have a phone. I've always been afraid to be listed in the phone book. And the only way up to that penthouse was by that one elevator. I was trapped up there, at his mercy whenever he wanted to come.
What did you do?
I spent the night crouched against the wall with a flat iron in my hand, waiting for that key to click in my lock.
And the next morning?
The next day, I began to wonder if it all wasn't just a dream.
Good morning, Miss Rhodes.
Good morning, Gallagher.
Lovely weather we've been having. Lovely, dry and brisk, but not too brisk. Not overcoat weather yet. No, not overcoat weather yet. I was only saying to Foley this morning.
Gallagher?
Yes, Miss Rhodes, yes.
Who's that new night man running the elevator? The one who came on last night?
Oh, Foley? You mean Foley, Miss Rose? Why, that's Charlie Foley. Nice old chap, ain't he? Very friendly and obliging, too. Treated me to coffee this morning before I came on.
Charlie Foley?
Yep, that's his name. They're very partial to the Irish here in this building. Gallagher, Foley. But he's a nice, trustworthy chap, Miss Rose. Honest, too. Good morning, Miss Rose.
Good morning.
Forget something, Miss Rose?
No. Just about this Mr. Foley. It's just that he's rather odd-looking. I was wondering where he came from and if he's perfectly all right.
All right. Let me tell you something. He was personally recommended by Ellsworth, Hitchcock, Pearson, and Scott, the owners of the place. And that's the first time that's ever happened in my experience. Don't you worry about him, Miss Rhodes. He's a good man, member of our union, and married with 2 children. Believe me, when the owners recommend a man, there's little left to be said.
Well, it all sounds like a foolproof alibi, Miss Rhodes. And so you went back?
And I didn't want to, even then. I spent the day hunting for another apartment. But you know wartime New York, Warden Graves. There wasn't another apartment to be had. I let myself be convinced until that night when I saw him again.
Good evening, Miss Rhodes.
He called me Miss Rhodes. And now there was a cruel, sarcastic smile about his lips. The kind of smile I'd seen him give to Mama.
You think he recognized you then?
Recognized me? Warden Graves, I haven't changed. Perhaps I've grown a little thinner. Don't you see he'd come there only to trap me? He'd taken that particular job, plotted, schemed.
Here's your floor, Miss Rhodes.
It was only a question of when. When he was going to do it. When the axe was going to fall. He kept grinning at me as I stepped out of the elevator.
Good night, Miss Rhodes.
Good night. Who is it? Who's there?
Oh, excuse me, Miss Rhodes. There wasn't any answer to my ring.
What do you want? What are you doing here?
It's your laundry. They told me to put it inside the door in case you weren't home.
My laundry? Oh, but you knew I was home. You just brought me up.
That's right. Excuse me, I guess I must have been thinking of something else.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Miss Rhodes. Very sorry.
That's all right. Good night.
It was a crazy mistake. There I was thinking you could get up here some other way. But there isn't any other way, is there?
No.
Even the service elevator doesn't get up this far, does it?
No.
It's just like you're all alone here. Alone. On the roof.
Yes. Tom, if you come any closer, I'll kill you to hear. I'll kill you with my bare...
What was that, Mum?
Get out! Get out! Get out!
It's my buzzer. I better answer it.
And then what happened?
Nothing.
He came back again that night?
No. I haven't seen him since. I barricaded myself in that night. Once it occurred to me that I might escape by running down 18 flights of fire stairs. But the thought of meeting him back in the gloomy darkness kept me back. And I didn't know where the fire stairs ended. Perhaps in the cellar, where I would be utterly defenseless.
It's too bad you don't have a telephone.
Oh, it's horrible. The next morning, I got down to the public phone and put through the call to here. But it wasn't any use.
That was the day I was out of town.
Yes, but Warden, I still don't see why they couldn't have told me. After all, I was giving them information.
It's one of our strictest regulations at Osawatomie State Penitentiary never to discuss any of our prisoners over the telephone.
That's what they said.
So you came all the way out here in person?
Yes.
And now you wish me to send someone to apprehend this man?
I want you to bring him back, that's all. Back where he belongs.
Miss Rhodes, Tom Nixon doesn't need to be brought back. He's here.
Oh, no, Warden Graves. Please, I've seen him with my own eyes. Talk to him face to face. Maybe there's someone here calling himself Tom Nixon, but he's escaped. He's free. I know it.
Will you just step this way with me, Miss Rhodes?
No, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see his cell or talk to anybody or...
Tom Nixon's dead, Miss Rhodes. He's buried in the prison yard. I'd like you to see his grave. And this is the photograph taken of him just a week before he died. You see, he wasted away quite a bit. He was in the infirmary all last year. Became very religious, too, toward the end. Spent a good deal of his time praying.
Praying?
Mm-hmm. All the fight seemed to go out of him as soon as he knew he was seriously ill. But you'd say this was his picture, wouldn't you, Miss Rhodes?
Yes. It's Tom, all right.
Mm-hmm. And these little personal belongings. Ordinarily, we turn these over to the family, but in Tom's case, there wasn't much family. You'd recognize these as his.
Yes, I don't know them all, but that gold watch, he used to wear it every Sunday at Mama's.
He wrote a couple of notes before he died to a fellow prisoner and to the prison chaplain. You remember this handwriting?
Yes, this seems to be it.
Well, Miss Rhodes, now you feel a little better about your elevator operator? Hmm?
You must think me a fool.
No.
An awful fool.
Not at all, not at all.
But the likeness was so extraordinary. It was almost like seeing a ghost.
A ghost? Come, Miss Rhodes. Snap out of it. Now that you've gotten all this off your chest, isn't it perfectly obvious that that poor nightman's done nothing or said nothing to you at all out of the ordinary? It's only that, well, you seem to be the victim of some kind of guilt complex.
Guilt complex? Oh, I'm not guilty of anything.
Oh, what I mean is, Tom has been on your mind now for 10 years. You testified against him. He threatened you. Gradually, you see him everywhere.
No, only this once. Only these last few nights.
All right. But now you know the truth. That should clear your fears forever. Tom's dead and buried. Now, go back and take a look at that nightman again. Now that you know Tom's dead, I'll lay odds the whole resemblance will vanish.
Well, I hope so.
My advice to you, Miss Rhodes, would be to go straight home. Use that elevator as much as possible. Get acquainted with this Foley fellow. For your own sake, try to get the better of these hallucinations. Otherwise, you'll start seeing poor Tom everywhere you turn.
Well, I'll try, Warden Graves. Well, thank you. You've been very kind.
Not at all.
Good evening, Charles.
Evening, Mum.
I have some bags here, Charles. Will you help me with them, please?
Okay. That all, Mum?
Yes, thank you. This is for you, Charles.
No, thanks, ma'am. I never take tips.
It's all right. I'd like you to have it. I'm sure the superintendent wouldn't mind.
The superintendent hasn't anything to do with it.
Well, aren't we going to start?
Yeah, in a minute. Been out of town?
Why, yes, I have.
You've gone quite a while. I didn't see you for 3 or 4 nights.
I was in the country, visiting a friend.
Oh.
Why, it's beautiful weather out there. The leaves are beautiful.
I wouldn't know.
You live in the city, Charles?
Of course.
Oh, isn't it hard to bring up children in the city?
Children?
Yes. Didn't I understand Gallagher to say you had 2 children?
Me? What chance I have to have any children?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm a bachelor. By the way, my name is not Charles.
Well, guess this must be my floor.
No, it's not.
Then why are we stopping?
The elevator's stuck. Power's been cut off.
Cut off?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but how could that happen? It's never happened before as long as I've lived here.
Yeah? Well, sooner or later, I guess it had to happen.
Isn't there some way we can get it back on? Some buzzer for the cellar or something?
If the power's off, the buzzer isn't working. It's a wonder the lights are still on.
The lights?
Yeah. They'll go out in a few minutes, though. And then it'll be black in here. Black as a grave.
Let's get out of here. Open the door.
Can't. She won't budge.
But you haven't even tried.
I don't have to try. We're stuck between floors. The door's flush with the solid wall.
Solid wall?
Yeah. We're kind of bricked up in a cell.
But there must be some way out of here. Isn't there a little door in the roof? Something you can pry open? Something you can climb up out of into the shaft?
I don't see any.
Oh, but there must be. Climb up and feel around before the light gives out.
There's nothing to get hold of. It's nothing but steel and mirrors. And I'm not tall enough.
Stand on my bags. That's a good idea.
You'll never hold me.
Oh, it's all right. Just hurry. Here, the Gladstone's strongest.
No, never make it.
Oh, but stand on your tiptoes. Stretch.
No.
Let me try. Oh, dear, no, I can't.
I didn't think so.
Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Wait.
Wait.
Wait until somebody comes along downstairs and finds the elevator stuck, and then rings up the superintendent.
Oh, but that might be hours.
Sure.
No! Help! Help! Somebody help! Help!
You're wasting your time.
Oh.
Everybody's left the building. I know because they've all signed out. This air shaft's thick, isolated. Nobody's down in the basement, and there won't be any passengers ringing for an elevator this time of night.
You seem awfully sure about all that.
Why not? Cigarette?
No, thanks. Do you think it's safe to smoke in here?
Sure. And supposing it isn't, what's the difference? Here, have one. It'll soothe your nerves.
No, thanks. The air's so close.
Jumpy, ain't you?
No, I suppose really there's nothing to be afraid of. Sooner or later, they'll come.
Oh, sure. Eventually.
It's just that this waiting and all these mirrors and being stuck.
You're not jumpy on account of me?
You? Oh, no, of course not.
But you were kind of jumpy with me the other night, weren't you?
The other night?
When I came into your apartment unexpectedly.
That was a mistake.
A mistake?
Yes, I just thought you were someone else, a friend of mine, someone I've always been afraid of.
Oh.
But now I've learned it couldn't be you because this friend's dead. Dead and buried.
Dead and buried?
Yes.
What was his name? Maybe I know him.
Oh! What was that?
Only the lights. I knew they'd give out sooner or later.
Oh, no. No, they can't. I can't stay here alone in the dark with you.
So you are jumpy with me.
No.
I thought you said this guy was dead and buried.
He is. I saw his grave.
Then why are you screaming like that?
I'm not screaming. Only it's so dark in here. So close and creepy.
What did you do to this friend that makes you so jumpy?
Do to him? Nothing. I didn't do a thing.
No?
It was he. He threatened me. He was a murderer. He killed my mother in cold blood 10 years ago. He was our boarder for 10 years. And one afternoon... Don't move! Don't move!
I'm not moving. Go on.
One afternoon, I came home, and there was Mother lying on the floor with her throat. No, where are you? I can't...
Go on.
No, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Tom! It's you, Tom, isn't it?
I thought you said your friend was dead and buried.
Stop playing with me. Stop torturing me. Tell me the truth. You escaped, didn't you? You didn't die, and it was someone else's grave, just as I thought. You escaped and found me here. Answer me, Tom. Where are you? I can't see you. I can't. Ah! Oh, no. No, Tom. I didn't mean it. I didn't. I didn't mean to send you there. It was only because I loved you, Tom. Loved you so blindly, passionately for years. And hated Mama. And hated you for loving her. It was only to get revenge on you both that I killed her. And framed you. Mama was so cruel to me, Tom. She treated me like a slave. And all the time flaunting you in my face. Oh, if you'd spoken one kind word to me, Tom, at the trial. One word to let me know you loved me. You're going to kill me, aren't you, Tom? No, Tom! I don't want to die! I don't want to die! I don't want to die, Tom!
Here's the lobby, Mom. You can get out here, or I'll take you back up to the penthouse as soon as we've picked up the other passenger.
What? The lobby? You brought me down to the lobby.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you're not Tom?
No, ma'am.
You're not going to kill me? I'm free?
Yes, ma'am.
Then it was all just a crazy illusion. A nightmare because the power went off and you look so much like Tom Nixon. Oh, forgive me. Please forgive me for being so absurd.
It's okay, ma'am.
And you'll forget about those silly things I said, won't you? I didn't mean them. It was just because I was beside myself.
What silly things, ma'am?
Those silly things about my mother and Tom. And now, this is for you. No, I insist this time. I insist.
I'm sorry, Mum. But I'm afraid I never accept tips.
Oh, but you must.
Particularly from people who framed my twin brother. Good evening, Warden Graves.
Good evening, Lieutenant Nixon. Well done.
And so closes The Night Man, starring Virginia Bruce and Richard Wolff. Tonight's study in Suspense. Suspense is produced and directed by William Spear.
To every woman listening tonight, I want to say a special word about making every dinner or supper you serve taste better. I want to urge you to start serving Roma wine with your meals. It's simple. The cost is very, very little, and it works magic in making food more enjoyable. You can serve Roma wine with any meal or any time in any kind of glass you wish. Serve it chilled. Try different kinds of Roma wine until you find those you enjoy most of all. Try hearty red Roma California Burgundy or the delicately delicious Roma California Sauterne. The cost is only pennies a glass, but you'll find even a pickup supper tastes like a banquet. Get Roma wines today. If your dealer is temporarily out of them, please try again soon. Just ask for ROMA, Roma Wines, America's largest selling wines, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world.
Richard Wolff appeared through the courtesy of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of Mrs. Parkington. Next Thursday, same time, you will hear Mr. Van Johnson and Mr. Keenan Wynn as stars of Suspense.
Presented by Roma Wines, ROMA, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. Remember this, the war is not over. For every reason, patriotic and personal, continue to buy and keep war bonds. Put as much of your money as possible where it will serve as a reserve to be used in the future. War bond dollars now can mean the realization of your long-range peacetime objectives. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Now, the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California presents
Suspense. Tonight, Roma Wines bring you the distinguished actor, Mr. Ronald Colman, in one of the great suspense stories of our time, August Heat.
Suspense is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's Roma, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness in entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Before we bring you Ronald Colman and our suspense play, here's a brief message from Elsa Maxwell, famed for her great charm as a hostess.
When food looks appetizing, it almost always lives up to expectations. When even so simple a main dish as a steaming, fragrant bowl of spaghetti or beans is surrounded by bright green salads, golden rolls or muffins, and brilliant Roma California burgundy, the food is more enjoyable, more delightful.
And for a summery touch of the outdoors, a vase of flowers, perfect color complement to the deep, rich beauty of Roma burgundy. You'll enjoy the fruity, robust taste, the tart piquancy of distinguished Roma burgundy served cool. Truly a masterpiece of fine winemaking. Like all Roma wines, Roma burgundy is unvaryingly good, always high in quality of bouquet, color, and taste. The happy reward of selected grapes, brought slowly to perfection, gently pressed, then carefully guided to flavor fullness by the ancient skill of Roma's noted wineries in California's choicest vineyards. Yet all this goodness is yours for only pennies a glass. Remember, more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. Roma, Roma wines. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant, as Roma wines bring you a remarkable tale of suspense.
And with August Heat, W.F. Harvey's matchless narrative of premonition and the brooding terror of twilight and the unseen, and with the performance of Ronald Colman, Roma Wines hope indeed to keep you in suspense.
Peniston Road, Clapham, August the 20th, 1945. I have had what I believe to be the most remarkable day in my life. And while the events are still fresh in my mind, I wish to put them down on paper as clearly as possible. Let me say at the outset that my name is James Clarence Withencroft. You must remember that in order to have the full implication of my story. James Clarence Withencroft. I'm 40 years old, in perfect health, never having known a day's illness. By profession, I am an artist. Not a very successful one, but I earn enough money by my black and white work to satisfy my necessary wants. My only near relative, a sister, died 5 years ago, so that there is no one in particular to whom I address this manuscript. Only you, who might by chance read it someday. For, because of the peculiar circumstance about which you will soon hear, I have the strong premonition that I shall never live to tell anyone about it. I breakfasted this morning at 9 at the usual time. It was no different from any other morning. And after glancing through the morning paper, I lighted my pipe. And I proceeded to let my mind wander, in the hope that I might chance upon some subject for my pencil. The room, though door and window were open, was oppressively hot. And I had just made up my mind that the coolest and most comfortable place in the neighborhood would be the deep end of the public swimming bath when I was suddenly shaken. A feeling swept over me such as I'd never experienced before. I attempted to rise to my feet, but somehow it seemed as though I had suddenly been fastened to my chair. My hand went out in an effort to brace myself. And then, before I knew what I was doing, my pencil was in my hand, and I began to draw. It was as though someone had taken my hand and was moving it across the paper, swiftly, in bold strokes. And then I seemed to take over. My hand, under its own power, began to draw. I soon forgot the oppressive heat. Everything was forgotten in this frantic feeling that the sketch must be finished as soon as possible. I had no idea how long I worked until I heard the clock of St. Jude's in the distance. It was 4 o'clock, and I had started just after breakfast. Now, for the first time since I'd begun, I actually seemed to see what I had been sketching. I was surprised. The final result was, I felt sure, the best thing I'd ever done. It showed a criminal in the dock immediately after the judge had pronounced sentence. The man was fat, enormously fat. The flesh hung in rolls about his chin. It creased his huge, stumpy neck. He was clean-shaven, or perhaps I should say a few days before he must have been clean-shaven. And he was almost bald. He stood there before the judge, his short, clumsy fingers clasping the rail, looking straight in front of him. The feeling that his expression conveyed was not so much one of horror as of utter, absolute collapse. There seemed nothing in the man strong enough to sustain that mountain of flesh. And then I saw that the sketch wasn't complete, for the man's other hand seemed to be clutching an instrument of some kind, a weapon, but it hadn't been completed. I had made this sketch, and yet I had no recollection of what I'd intended the man to carry in his other hand. I took up my pencil again, and I attempted to fill in the fuzzy outline, but it was useless. It was as though my fingers had suddenly turned to lead. I sat down, and I felt the moisture slowly forming on my forehead. And once again, I was conscious of the oppressive heat. Then I knew that there would be no finishing of the sketch, at any rate not for the moment. So I rolled it up, and without quite knowing why, I put it in my pocket. In spite of my peculiar inspiration, I was filled with a rare sense of happiness which the knowledge of a good thing well done gives. I believe that I set out with the idea of calling upon Trenton, for I remember walking along Lytton Street and turning to the right along Gilchrist Road, at the bottom of the hill where the men are at work on the new tram line. From there onwards, I have only the vaguest recollection of where I went. Through parks, along crowded streets, always conscious of the awful heat that came up from the dusty asphalt pavement in a suffocating wave. I remember, too, the hollow sound of my footsteps as I moved along. Although walking aimlessly, I somehow knew that there was a goal, a something to which I was drawn. I longed for the thunder promised by the great banks of copper-colored clouds that hung low over the western sky. I've really no idea how far I walked when a small boy roused me from my abstraction.
You got the time, mister?
20 minutes to 7.
Thanks. Hot enough for you, sir?
Yes. When he left me, I began to take stock of my bearings. I found myself standing before a gate that led into a yard bordered by a strip of thirsty earth. There were flowers, purple stock and scarlet geranium, and great numbers of bees droned over them.
I stood looking down at them for a moment, and then, for some reason, I looked up. Over the entrance to the place, there was a board with the inscription, Charles Atkinson, Monumental Mason, worker in English and Italian marbles. From the yard itself came a cheery whistle, the noise of hammer blows and the cold sound of steel meeting stone. A sudden impulse made me enter, and I went in the direction of the noise. There was a man, sitting with his back towards me. He was busy at work on a slab of curiously veined marble. Then, without turning, his hammer stopped in midair as he was about to bring it down on his chisel. He held this position a moment before turning, but I knew that he was aware of my presence, and when he turned, I saw his face. It was, although I'd never seen him before, it was the face of the man I had been drawing. Yes, it was the face of the man whose sketch was in my pocket. He sat there on his low stool, huge and elephantine, the sweat pouring from his scalp, not speaking. Then he took a red silk handkerchief and he mopped his brow. Although this face that looked up at me was the same as my sketch, the expression was absolutely different. Suddenly the puzzled expression left his face, and he smiled, as if we were old friends. And he walked over and he took my hand.
Good day, sir.
Good day. I'm sorry to intrude.
Not at all.
Everything is so hot and glary outside. This is like an oasis in the wilderness.
I don't know about an oasis, but it certainly is hot. Whew. Take a seat, sir.
He pointed to the end of the gravestone on which he was at work, and I sat down.
Whew. Very hot.
That's a beautiful piece of stone you've got hold of.
In a way it is. The surface here is as fine as anything you could wish. But there's a big flaw at the back. Oh, I don't expect you'd notice it.
Oh, I shouldn't think so.
I could never really do a good job on a bit of marble like that. It would be all right in the summer like this. Wouldn't mind the blasted heat. But wait until the winter comes.
Winter?
There's nothing quite like frost to find out the weak points in stone.
Oh.
A gravestone, you see.
Oh, I see. Then what's this one for?
You'd hardly believe if I was to tell you, but it's for exhibition. It's the truth. Artists have exhibitions, so do grocers and butchers. Oh, we have them too. All the latest little things in headstones, you know.
He went on to talk of marbles, which sort of marble best withstood wind and rain, and which were easiest to work. Then of his garden and some new sort of carnation he had bought. At the end of every other minute, he would drop his tools, wipe his shining head.
This heat's bad. A man's not responsible for what he does. This heat.
I said little, for I felt uneasy. There was something unnatural, uncanny in all of this, the feeling that I'd experienced it all before. The oppressive heat, the fragrance of the stocks in the air, the conversation about the marble, the flowers, everything as though I had experienced it before. And yet I knew that I'd never ever been in this section of town before. I tried to persuade myself that at least I'd seen him before, that his face, unknown to me, had found a place in some out-of-the-way corner of my memory. But I knew that I was practicing little more than a plausible piece of self-deception. As I sat there quietly, watching him, he looked up at me and he said,
There. What do you think of that?
He said it with an air of evident pride, of a job well done. I could sense that he was experiencing the same feeling I had experienced when I'd finished my sketch. Then he got up with a sigh of relief.
Hot. Hot, ain't it?
I was seated in such a position that I was unable to see his work. And for some reason, I didn't move. Suddenly, he began to read what he'd carved on the tombstone. He spoke deliberately and with a flat voice.
In the midst of life, we are in death. Born January 18, 1905.
I looked up with a start. This man had read my exact birth date.
He passed away very suddenly on August 20th, 1945.
That's today.
We usually use the present date on these exhibition stones.
Do you usually put a name on them, too?
Yes. Sacred to the memory of James Clarence Withencroft.
Cold shudder swept over me, and I sat there in silence. The sound of birds and crickets seemed loud in my ears as we stood there, looking at each other, saying nothing. And then he mopped his brow again.
Hot.
I was finally able to speak. Where did you see that name?
Oh, I didn't see it anywhere. I wanted some name, and I put down the first that came into my head.
It's a strange coincidence, but it happens to be mine.
Huh? That's your name? You're James Clarence...
Withencroft, yes.
Well... And the dates?
I can only answer for the birth date. It's correct.
Oh. That's a rum go.
I made a sketch this morning of you.
Of me? But you've never seen me before.
No.
Oh.
I took my sketch from my pocket and I showed it to him. As he looked, the expression on his face altered until it became more and more like that of the man I had drawn.
And it was only the other day before that I told Maria there were no such things as ghosts.
Neither of us had seen a ghost, but I knew what he meant. Then I spoke to him. You probably heard my name someplace.
Yes. You must have seen me somewhere and forgotten it.
Yes.
Were you at Clacton-on-Sea last July?
No, I've never been to Clacton in my life.
Oh.
And we were silent for some time again. And we stood there looking at one another and at the two dates on the gravestone. And the birth one was right, and the other was today.
Well, come inside and have some supper.
His wife was a strange little woman who was pallid with the look of those who live their lives indoors. Her husband introduced me as a friend of his who was an artist, and he informed her that I was staying to supper. I spoke, making some comment that I hoped I wouldn't be an intrusion, and she looked up at me and she said,
"You have a pleasing voice, Mr. Withencroft, and you're welcome in my home. I'm sorry Charles has not brought you here before."
Very little was said during the meal, and after the sardines and watercress had been removed, she walked over to a cupboard and she took down a thin black book, and as she handed it to me, she spoke.
"Would you read aloud, Mr. Withencroft?"
Puzzled, I looked down at the book which she'd opened and placed before me. It was a very tiny book. The Prophet, it was called, by an author unknown to me with a strange Eastern name, Khalil Gibran. And my eyes fell across the page, and suddenly I was reading aloud, as she'd asked me to. Then Almitra spoke, saying, "We would ask now of death." And he said, "You would know the secret of death. But how shall you find it unless you seek it in the heart of life? The owl, whose night-bound eyes are blind unto the day, cannot unveil the mystery of light. If you would indeed behold the spirit of death, open your heart wide unto the body of life. For life and death are one, even as the river and the sea are one. In the depth of your hopes and desires lies your silent knowledge of the beyond. And like seeds dreaming beneath the snow, your heart dreams of spring. Trust the dreams, for in them is hidden the gate to eternity. Your fear of death is but the trembling of the shepherd when he stands before the king whose hand is to be laid upon him in honor. Is the shepherd not joyful beneath his trembling, that he shall wear the mark of the king? Yet is he not more mindful of his trembling. For what is it to die but to stand naked in the wind and to melt into the sun? And what is it to cease breathing but to free the breath from its restless tides, that it may rise and expand and seek God unencumbered? Only when you drink from the river of silence shall you indeed sing. And when you have reached the mountain top, then you shall begin to climb. And when the earth shall claim your limbs, then shall you truly dance. When I looked up, Mr. Atkinson had gone. But his wife stood before me, and as she took the book, she spoke.
Thank you.
Then I went outside. And I found Atkinson sitting on the gravestone and smoking. He looked up at me.
Hot. Man's not responsible for what he might do in this heat. She never asked anyone to read aloud before.
And then we talked about the sketch again. He looked at it.
Likeness is me, all right. On trial.
You must excuse my asking, but do you know of anything you've done for which you could be put on trial?
No, I've done nothing. Not yet.
He got up, fetched a can from the porch, and he began to water the flowers.
Twice a day regular in the hot weather. And then the heat sometimes gets the better of the delicate ones, and ferns. Good Lord, they could never stand it. Where do you live?
I told him my address. It would take an hour's quick walk to get back home. And he stopped watering, and he faced me squarely.
It's like this. We'll look at the matter straight. If you'll both go back home tonight, you take your chance of accidents. A cart may run over you. There's always banana skins and orange peels, to say nothing of falling ladders.
He spoke of the improbable with an intense seriousness that would have been laughable 6 hours before. But I did not laugh.
The best thing we can do is for you to stay here till 12 o'clock. Then it'll be tomorrow, do you see?
Yes.
We'll go upstairs and smoke. Maybe cooler inside.
And to my surprise, I agreed. We are sitting in a long, low room beneath the eaves. Atkinson has sent his wife to bed. He himself is busy sharpening some tools at a little oilstone. smoking one of my cigars the while. And as I look at my sketch before me, I suddenly see the fuzzy outline of what the man in the picture holds in his hands. But while I had not been able to sketch it before, I am able to do so now. It is a chisel, and it is stained with dark liquid. The sketch is completed now. The air seems charged with thunder, and I hear it in the distance. It is ominous, but it carries the hope of rain. Perhaps this damnable heat will be broken soon, and the day will soon be over. It is close to 12. I'm writing this at a shaky table before the open window. The leg is cracked, and Atkinson, who seems a handy man with his tools, is going to mend it as soon as he has finished putting an edge on his chisel. There. It is 12. The day is over, and I shall be going home. But the heat is stifling. This heat is enough to send a man mad.
And so closes August Heat, in which Roma Wines have brought you Ronald Colman as star of tonight's study in Suspense. Suspense is produced, edited, and directed by William Spear. Music for August Heat was composed by Lucien Morawick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. Dennis Hoy appeared as Atkinson.
This is Truman Bradley with a word for Roma Wines, the sponsor of Suspense. America's famed authority on hospitality, Elsa Maxwell, recently made this suggestion for gracious entertainment.
Your friends will respect your good taste when you serve delightful Roma California Tokay, enjoyable at any time, with coffee or dessert, with nuts and fruit. I suggest serving Roma Tokay cool.
A most timely suggestion from Miss Maxwell. You'll find flame-bright Roma Tokay velvety smooth, moderately sweet, light, yet delightfully rich in color. And you'll find Roma wines always delicious, of unvarying fine quality and goodness. June is the month of weddings, and the most distinguished way to fate the June bride is by serving Roma California champagne. Its gold and sparkle and delicious, delightful dryness tell you that here is a truly fine champagne, Roma champagne. Next time you plan for a special occasion, add this sparkling touch of perfection, good Roma champagne.
Next Thursday, you will hear John Payne and Frank McHugh as stars of Suspense.
Presented by Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Now, Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world, Roma Wines present
Suspense. Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Mr. J. Carroll Nash as star of Commuter's Ticket, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear. Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness in entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now, a glassful would be very pleasant as Roma Wines bring you J. Carroll Nash in a remarkable tale of suspense.
Ever ride a commuting train? If you have, you probably don't think anything of it. Not if you're one of the regulars. Commuters are just people coming from one place and on their way to going someplace else. What happens in between doesn't mean a thing. They don't remember it afterwards. They don't see the scenery. They look right at faces beside them and don't see them. I know. I used to ride the 8:15 into the city to work every morning and the 5:45 home in the evenings. Yeah, I used to ride the train. Oh, could I bother you for a match?
What? Oh, man.
Yeah, I left mine at the office. Where I work, Consolidated Press. The wire service, you know.
Don't say.
Oh, I'm not one of the reporters.
Here's a book of matches, Keaton.
Thanks. Now, I repair teletype machines. You know, the machines that print the news when it comes in and relay it out to the newspapers all over the country.
Don't say.
Funny trades people get into. Now, me, I was a speed typist. The fellow on my shift was a telephone man. Both wind up in the same place, repairing teletype printers. It's a whole profession, you know. Most people don't know it exists. But there you are. They break down just like any other machine. Oh, what's your line?
Look, I'm sorry. These rides are the only time I have to go over my report.
Oh, sure. I didn't mean to butt in. I just thought maybe I'd seen you in the Laurel Creek station.
No, not my station.
I see a lot of people waiting for the train there, but I never get to know them. Oh, my name's Bert Gavin.
It's all right. Keep the matches. I got another book.
You ride right along beside the same people, or the same kind of people anyway, for weeks, months, years. Nobody knows you're there. The same conductors see you every day, and still they ask you what's your station. I got so I took it for granted like any other commuter. Then I got to thinking about it again, especially on the down peninsula runs, going home to that house that didn't have any love in it anymore. I said I lived in Laurel Creek. Well, that was my station. Only where I lived was on the wrong side of the tracks. The house was so close to the tracks we couldn't have a backyard for the rails. Every time a train would go by, it'd shake the whole house. The walls would shake, the windows would rattle, the ground would shake under the foundations. It was like living on the edge of a volcano. As I walked into the house that night, the Bayside Limited was just coming through. Alva! Hey, Alva!
Who is it? That you, Bert? What are you doing home? Did you lose your job?
Wait till it gets past. I can't hear you.
What? What's that you say?
Oh, I said shut up.
What's the big idea coming home like this? Why didn't you let me know?
I finished early.
We're going to get overtime. You're losing overtime.
Well, maybe I want to have dinner with my loving wife for a change.
Well, you won't. There's nothing in the house.
Well, couldn't we rustle up some scrambled eggs or something?
I told you there's nothing in the house.
What were you going to eat?
I was going out, if you want to know.
Who with?
Well, it's none of your business.
It's Alf Gorman, isn't it? You've been seeing him again, haven't you?
Well, what if I have?
I don't want you to see him. You're my wife.
Pity you didn't think of that when you moved me out here to the sticks.
Well, your boyfriends don't seem to have any trouble locating you.
You rented a house on the railroad tracks deliberately, just to punish me.
Well, you don't have to stay in it.
No, I don't, but you do. And every time that train goes by in the night, I like it. You don't sleep so good, do you, Bert? The trains get on your nerves, too, don't they? I guess that's something you didn't figure on.
Hey, maybe I figured on more than you think.
What do you say that for? And what are you simpering about?
What's the matter, Alva? You sound like you're scared of me.
Of you? Oh, don't make me laugh. And don't make a scene when Alf comes by to pick me up. You know what happened the last time.
But it won't happen again. The laugh's on me, isn't it? I moved you to the country to keep you away from the juke joint, so he drives out here to see you.
The country. You call this the country. A shack on the railroad tracks. You bring me here. You must be crazy to think anybody could turn over a new leaf in a place like this.
Maybe I am crazy, but not the way you think.
Now, there you go again, getting that silly look on your face.
What time did you say Alf was coming to pick you up?
7 o'clock.
That's fine. That's perfect. I'll just have time to catch the 7:15 back into town and earn that overtime.
Well, what are you waiting for?
It's about time for the 6:45 to pass by, isn't it?
Yeah, do stay and enjoy it, Bert, dear.
Honey, you don't know how much I'm going to enjoy this. Ah, there it is. Here it comes. Well, it's a minute early this evening.
Bert, what's the matter with you? What do you want with that poker?
What do you think I came home early tonight for? Give you 3 guesses.
Bert.
Nobody saw me leave the office. The watchman was asleep. He'll still be asleep when I get back. As far as the police will know, I never left there. I was there all night fixing the printers. Earning my overtime.
Bert, don't do it. You'll never get away with it. Everybody saw you coming out in the train. It'll be the same going back. You can't help being seeing so many people on those trains.
What you don't know, honey. What you don't know.
I'll scream. I'll scream so loud the neighbors will hear.
Nobody's going to hear anything except this train. There's the big baby now. A nice long train. Long and loud. Go ahead. Scream your head off.
Bert, put that down. You don't know what you're doing, Bert. Get away from me. Oh, Bert, please, listen. Down, Bert. Down, Bert.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you J. Carroll Nash in Commuter's Ticket, a radio play by Roy Grandy and Robert Tallman. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Between the acts of Suspense, this is Ken Niles with a friendly suggestion. If the heat has you worn to a frazzle, soothe that ruffled disposition and those hot weather nerves. Take it easy. Cool off with the refreshing Roma Wine and Soda Ice. Yes, Roma Wine and Soda, America's smartest, coolest summer refresher. For there's nothing so cool to come home to as the thirst-quenching refreshment of Roma Wine and Soda. Long a summer favorite here in Hollywood, Roma Wine and Soda is now enjoyed by millions everywhere for cooling comfort and taste-tempting luxury. To prepare, just half-fill tall glasses with Roma California Sauterne or Burgundy or any other Roma wine type you prefer. Then simply add ice and sparkling water. That's all there is to it. Your Roma Wine and Soda is ready to enjoy. So good and cool. And remember, Roma wine is selected for you from the world's greatest wine reserves. That's why a refresher made with Roma is better tasting every time. So for luxurious, low-cost refreshment, insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, Roma wine, enjoyed by more Americans than any other wine.
And now, Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage J. Carroll Nash as Bert Gavin in Commuter's Ticket, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
The train was gone, and so was that awful feeling inside. I just stood there looking down where I'd knocked her. In the quiet, there wasn't any reason for what I'd done. I was sorry, kind of. I didn't want her dead now. But I had to follow it through. Had to work fast. Alf was coming for it at 7. He'd find her body. Maybe they'd try to hang it on him. That was a laugh. It was just a small noise when I picked up the poker, but even that scared me. I had to wipe it off, though. Those small sounds a man makes when he's alone around a house. I heard every step I took. I'd have given anything for another train to break up the silence. But there wouldn't be another train till the one I had to get on. I had to work fast if I was going to catch it. I opened a broom closet and got out a stepladder. I set the ladder up and climbed to the top of it, feeling dizzy. What I wanted was in a pewter mug on top of the sideboard. I got it in a hurry and climbed down. It was over $2,000 in cash. I'd been saving it for a long time. I needed it now. I might not be coming back to this house. I meant to put a ladder away and streak out of there before Alf put in his appearance. The buzzer stopped me cold. It was him, all right. I could see his shadow on the frosted glass of the front door. In a minute, he tried the door. I didn't know whether it was locked or not. I didn't wait to see. I hid out the back way. The door that opened only a couple of feet from the railroad tracks. In 3 seconds flat, I was scrambling up over that great stake fence, out onto the tracks, lurching over the railroad ties. Where was the plan, that neat plan, so nobody'd see me? I had a way mapped out, but that way was out the front door. Now everybody in all the houses along the tracks could see me. Maybe not, though. People there don't look out through those dirty windows any oftener than they have to. At the station, I huddled back on a bench in the darkest corner and waited. I got on with the others, lost in the crowd. I walked through just like all the commuters. Took the first good empty seat I found. A whole seat to myself.
Mind if I sit here?
What? Oh, no.
I just thought maybe your wife.
Wife?
Well, that may be that you were holding this seat for somebody.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Oh, thanks. Well, say, this suits me. You know, I don't like it when there isn't somebody to talk to. Yes, sir, my name's Elmer Russell. What's yours?
You must not ride on the trains very much.
You guessed it. From what I hear, people don't meet up with each other very much, not on these commuting trains. I only use them since I'm working nights. I used to drive in. What was your name now? Hey, what'd you do to your hand?
My hand, what?
Well, you must have cut yourself. Look, it's all covered.
Oh, yeah. Well, excuse me. Just saw a friend of mine going to the car ahead. I wanted to see him on a matter of... I rushed on out of the car, my heart pounding. I went in and washed my hands. Out of all the passengers on that train, I had to get beside somebody who didn't have the commuter's habit. And blood on my hands. Well, what was the difference? Nobody ever questioned him about me. The train lurched as I started down the aisle of the next smoker.
Hey, watch it. What's the big idea?
Sorry. Train give a lurch. Sorry.
Well, you don't have to cry about it. Just watch it.
Yeah.
Hey, wait.
What?
Help me pick up these dominoes.
Oh, go on. Chase yourself.
Hey, come back here. What's the big idea?
Gee, I should have helped him pick them up. He'd remember that my being rude. Maybe not, though. Commuters are used to rudeness. I hurried on to the next car. I shut the door behind me and leaned back against it, feeling weak and dizzy. People near me looked up and stared at me. I must have looked pretty sick, judging from the way I felt. I grabbed the first vacant seat and fell into it.
Wow, look what just dropped down from the sky.
Hey, can't keep us from having that sport, can they?
Well, what's your limit, friend? 10% a point?
Now, don't tell us you don't play bridge. You'll be the first commuter I ever met on this run that didn't play bridge, huh?
Oh, sure. I play a little. I'm not very good, though. But I'll be glad to play.
Good. You keep score, Jack.
Sure.
Draw for the deal.
Well, ace of spades. Looks like your lucky night, fella.
Yeah. What's your name, by the way?
A name?
Yeah, for the score pad.
Oh, yeah, for the score pad.
Don't hold up the game, Jack. Just write down Mr. X.
Oh, that's good. Easy to remember.
My name's Sam Cartwright.
Oh, okay, Sam. All right, let's see now. Who dealt?
I played cards. What I picked up and laid down then, I can't remember. I could hardly see the spots on them. I was thinking of Alva's face, lying there in that miserable house by the tracks where I'd left her. Then it happened. The one they called Jack had just said...
Your play, Sam.
Then it happened. It was only the train going through the tunnel, but it brought it all back. A scream and the train roaring by, the whole house shaking. When I heard that squeal, my arms jerked up. What all I did, I don't know.
Well, what's the matter, Sam?
Oh, nothing.
Well, play. We won't finish your rubber at this rate.
Play, yeah. I'm sorry, Donna. I thought there was another trump out.
Sorry? Your ace takes it, chum.
Yeah, I thought you said you didn't play much, Sam.
Never seen such luck.
Your deal, Whitney.
Excuse me, gents. Got all your tickets?
Oh.
Yeah.
Guess my coat was over the seat check.
That's all right. Hey, wait, conductor. Yeah? You didn't get Sam's ticket.
Yeah, Sam's too lucky. Can't let him get away with a free ride.
I was back in the other car.
Where was that?
Well, to tell the truth, I forget whether I paid or not. I'll buy a ticket, though, just to be sure. Sorry to bother you. I'll just take some change out of my wallet.
Hey, there's your regular monthly commuter's ticket, isn't it?
Oh, yes, so it is. Yeah, I thought I left it home.
That's all right, Mr. Gavin.
Gavin? I thought you said your name was Cartwright.
This is my brother-in-law's ticket.
Oh, I see.
Come on, you guys. Pick up your card.
Yeah. I pass.
No bid.
Let's see. Buy me.
Never seen a rottener hand.
Me either. But Sam's gonna bid, though. Sam doesn't get rotten hands.
How about it?
Oh, no. No.
Hey, what's the matter with you, anyway?
You look sick. What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm all right. Leave me alone, will you?
Well, if you're going to bed, go on in bed.
All right. Just wait till the train gets by. The noise, I can't concentrate. It wasn't a passing train, not this time. It was the cards in my hand. I saw them all at once. It was a hand Culbertson might have written a book about. It was more than just a grand slam. I had every face card in the deck, but I wasn't going to be noticed on that train. I didn't even want to be remembered, no. And here I had a 7-note trump hand.
Well, come on, bid, man, bid.
Yeah, all right, sure. I guess we better have a redeal.
Where are the good cards? Somebody's got to have them.
Say, the train's getting crowded.
Sure is, mister.
Oh, I'm sorry, madam. Here, please, take my seat.
Well, thank you, dearie.
What's the idea?
Cards all over the place.
Hey, where you going?
Sorry, next is my station. So long. Well, I got out of showing that hand. But there was that abrupt departure to remember, and I'd given my seat to a woman. You don't see people giving seats to ladies very often these days. And the next car, I stopped on the aisle and stood wedged in tight by the crowd. I was shaking, so it must have attracted attention. Then a conductor came through.
Ticket. Didn't get your ticket.
You punched my ticket. It was in the other car. I was playing cards, remember?
Remember? Let me think now.
No, it's all right. Here. I have my commuter's ticket. You can punch it again. Oh, here, it must be in my other pocket. Gee, where'd I put it? I couldn't have lost it.
Well, never mind this time. But after this, take your seat check along when you move from car to car. Makes a lot of trouble for us when you don't.
Then you do remember?
Well, never mind about that.
Tell me, do you remember punching my ticket? Do you remember me?
Can't say as I do. One face gets to be just like another when you work the train so long. I'll just take your word for it.
I breathed easier from then on. If that conductor didn't take any notice of me, then nobody would. Once I stopped jittering, people stopped staring at me, or maybe I just imagined they were staring at me. Nobody watching for me at the station at San Francisco. I lost myself in the crowd and was back at the building where I worked before 8 o'clock. The watchman was asleep the way I'd figured he'd be, the way I'd planned it. I'd gone into the locker room before I left there and put a slug of sleeping medicine into his coffee thermos that would put a horse to sleep. Now, there was no danger of his waking up, but I tiptoed past him just to make sure. I went into the big room where the printers were. They were running just like I left them. No paper snag, no carriages stuck. None of the operators had called in. If they had, I could just say I'd gone out for a sandwich. I guess I knew how to fix teletypes, all right. To keep them running or to stop them running. I fixed a couple of those so nobody could say they hadn't broken down. Of course, the papers had kicked plenty about losing all that news. My office had kicked plenty, yeah. Kicked me right into the proof of where I'd been all night. It was daylight before I left. On the way out, I tripped over the night watchman. I wanted him to see me leave, but he didn't stir. I shook him a couple of times, but he didn't wake up. So I stamped my card myself and went on my way. He'd give the right testimony in any case. He wouldn't dare admit he'd been asleep on the job. Well, I bought a newspaper and started for the depot, feeling pretty good. Wasn't anything in the paper about what I'd done to Alva. I was sure there wouldn't be. I had one eye on the city news ticker all night. Maybe Alf didn't go in. Maybe they hadn't found her body yet. That's what I kept telling myself, yeah. Yeah, that's what I kept telling myself.
Mr. Gavin?
Yeah, I'm Bert Gavin.
My name's Daniels. Detective Inspector Daniels. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Why, certainly, Inspector. What is it?
Well, first, I think you'd better give an account of your movements last evening and last night.
Oh, well, that's easy enough. I spent the whole night at Consolidated News where I work. A couple of machines broke down, and I had to stay there and repair them. Fixing the teletype printers. That's my job.
Yeah, I know. You're under arrest, Mr. Gavin, on suspicion of murder.
Oh, now, wait a minute. You're making a big mistake, Inspector. I don't know what happened here, but I've been there the whole night, and I can prove it. I've got my time card and the night watchman as a witness.
Well, you picked a mighty poor witness, Mr. Gavin.
Oh, what do you mean?
That night watchman's dead, and you know it because you killed him, didn't you, Gavin?
Oh, now, listen. I don't get it. I told you the truth. He was alive at 6 o'clock this morning. He stamped my time card.
I think we'd better go somewhere private where we can take down your statement.
Okay, but listen, Inspector, you're on the wrong track. Honestly, why did I take such pains to prove I was there last night if I was the guilty party?
Well, I suppose you figured there's no use lying about what we can prove. Your story had to check with your wives.
My wife?
Yeah. Oh, we had a little trouble locating her, but she gave us a statement.
Where'd you locate her?
In the hospital. She had a bad accident, fell off a stepladder and cracked her head on an andiron.
Oh. Is she all right?
Oh, sure. Luckily, a friend dropped in just after it happened, and they got her to the hospital in time.
Well, listen, you've got to take me there. I've got to see her right away.
Yeah, sure. After we get your statement and the money.
What money?
Why, the money you killed the watchman for, a little over $2,000, wasn't it? See, the way we got it figured, you put sleeping stuff in his coffee and then went after the safe. He came to and surprised you, so you let him have it with a wrench. Being dopey and an old guy, it was just too much for his heart. We got you cold, Gavin. Your prints are all over that wrench. Nice, fresh prints.
Oh, listen, you got me all wrong. What time did it happen?
Oh, around 7:30, the doctor figures.
Then I can prove I didn't do it. I was home at 7:15, and I took the 7:15 back to town. My wife will tell you that.
Will she? The way she told it to us, you weren't home at any time, and if I'm any judge of people, she'll stick to that story.
But I can prove I was on that train. I talked to people. I lost my commuter's ticket. The conductor will remember me.
Yeah?
Most of those people will be on the train again tonight. They'll remember. I had a 7-0 trump hand at bridge. Oh, they'll remember. Well, there must be somebody who'll remember me.
Oh, that's all right. We'll take enough trips to strike an average.
Oh, here, this woman. Hello, do you remember me?
I beg your pardon?
2 nights ago on this car. Remember I gave you a seat?
Oh, how considerate.
Do you remember me?
Let me think, dearie.
Try to place his face, lady.
No, I really couldn't, dearie, but I just wish somebody'd give me a seat now.
And I'd been afraid she'd remember me. While we walked through all the cars, I couldn't find any of the other witnesses, not even the conductor. But Daniels was understanding. He let me try the 7:15 with him the next night. I played bridge with you. I gave you my name as Sam Cartwright.
No, I'm afraid I don't place you.
But I was winning all the time. I even had a 7-0 trump hand.
Oh, I haven't seen any hands like that in years. You must have mistaken us for somebody else.
Oh, here. At last. You remember me.
Well, if you don't mind, I have this reading that I...
Well, we met the other night. 5 nights ago it was.
Is that so?
Yeah, I remember. You said you weren't a regular commuter, so I knew you're the one person who wouldn't forget me. Remember I cut my hand?
5 nights ago. Well, I've been riding the trains all the time since then. I'm afraid one face is getting to be much like another.
Well, that does it, Gavin. Come clean now.
But I did take the 7:15 that night. I'm telling the truth. There, that's the conductor.
Huh?
Out on the platform. Look, I found the conductor.
Why bother, Gavin?
Conductor, do you remember seeing me on this one a week ago?
Well, I'm afraid one face is pretty much
I know, but I lost my commuter ticket. We talked about it.
Lost a commuter ticket? What's the name?
Bert Gavin. Can't you remember me?
No, but I might have some tickets here. I find a few strays once in a while.
Oh, that's it. That's my ticket.
Let me see that.
My ticket. There's my name on it, see?
You found this on the 7:15?
Well, mister, couldn't say what run it was. They shuttle the cars around, you know.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
No, thanks, conductor. That's all I needed.
They had me cold. For a murder I didn't commit. That was the funny part of it. Daniels was the right guy, though. He gave me one last chance to establish my alibi. At the hospital, Alva refused to see me, but Daniels agreed to see her himself and question her about my story, that I was home at the time of the murder. I waited in the corridor outside Alva's room. He was in there almost an hour.
Well, Gavin?
Did you get anywhere? Did she tell you anything?
Yeah. Yeah, she told me plenty.
She told you I was home? I couldn't have murdered the watchman?
She signed a detailed statement to that effect.
Then my alibi's good. Oh, sure, I couldn't have killed the watchman.
Oh, your alibi for the watchman will stick all right, Gavin. But I'm afraid we'll still have to hold you for murder. You see, Your wife just made a news statement telling us what actually happened when you came home.
Well, yeah, sure. We had a quarrel. I'm sorry. Matter of fact, I should have told you.
And just after she signed the statement, she passed away.
What? Dead? She's dead? Are you sure?
Oh, there's no doubt about it, Gavin. Well, it's getting late. I gotta check in. You ready to go?
Yeah. You think they'll give me an inside cell?
I can get you one if you want it.
Thanks a lot. I'd like that. Nice and quiet. Away from the train.
Suspense. Presented by Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. Before we hear again from J. Carroll Nash, the star of Commuter's Ticket, tonight's suspense play, this is Ken Niles with a Hollywood party idea for the ladies. When it's your turn to entertain these hot, sultry afternoons, treat your guests to the thirst-quenching refreshment of Roma Wine Lemonade. So light, so right. So easy to serve. Roma Wine Lemonade, first acclaimed by smart Hollywood hostesses, is now popular with women everywhere. The thirst choice among cold, tall refreshers. And Roma Wine Lemonade is so simple to prepare. Just place ice and the juice of half a lemon in a tall glass, pour 3/4 full with Roma California Burgundy or any other Roma wine type you prefer, add water and sweeten to taste. Quick as a wink, Roma Wine Lemonade is ready with cold, satisfying, low-cost refreshment for all. And because Roma Wine is selected for you from the world's greatest wine reserves, refreshers made with Roma are better tasting naturally. So insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, Roma Wine, largest selling wine in all history.
This is J. Carroll Nash. Mr. Spear has been telling me about next Thursday's Suspense show, and I must say he has whetted my appetite for it tremendously. It'll present an all-star cast of Hollywood's finest radio actors, headed by Wally Mayer, in a play which, according to Mr. Spear, contains some of the most powerful ingredients of distilled suspense that he has encountered since the now internationally famous Sorry, Wrong Number. It concerns the converging of death upon a helpless man and the unknowing conspiracy of people all over the city whom he has never even met to bury him alive. So let's all be sure and listen. Thank you.
J. Carroll Nash appeared through courtesy of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of the Technicolor musical Holiday in Mexico. Next Thursday, same time, Roma Wines will bring you Wally Mayer and an all-star cast of Hollywood's finest radio actors in Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrill.
Produced by William Spear for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California. Suspense is broadcast from coast to coast and to our men and women overseas by shortwave and through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Yes, Roma wines taste better because only Roma selects from the world's greatest wine reserves for your pleasure. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines.
those better tasting California wines enjoyed by more Americans than any other wine. For friendly entertaining, for delightful dining. Yes, right now, a glassful would be very pleasant as Roma Wines bring you Agnes Moorehead in a remarkable tale of suspense.
We were driving too fast, but I knew that if I slowed down at all, I would begin to tremble. And so, although the road was tortuous, climbing steeply up the mountain, I kept my foot pressed hard on the gas pedal. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see that my husband was looking quietly into the green valley far below. He looked peaceful now. He had made his speech about driving too fast. I'd asked him to be quiet, and now he was quiet. I wondered what he would do if I stopped the car and told him right then that we were driving up to the Johnson house so that I might kill him. I parked the car on the highway at the foot of the dirt road leading up to the house. We walked quickly behind the heavy trees. My husband stopped once to wipe the dust off his shoes. I hurried him on, and we soon arrived at the front door. As planned, I'd forgotten the key. I did open my purse and look, however, and that gave me the opportunity to release the safety catch on the gun I had borrowed from my husband's belongings. I suggested that we try one of the windows. He agreed, and we slowly made our way through the underbrush that was growing wild at the side of the stucco building until we reached a first-floor window. The window was set high above the ground, and my husband had to stretch his body to reach it. I waited until he had his back to me, with his hands raised high in the air, reaching for the window frame. Then I opened my purse, took out the gun, aimed very carefully at a spot just in the center of his left shoulder blade, and pulled the trigger 4 times. He didn't fall right away. He had had his fingers over the window ledge, ready to unfasten the catch when the bullets hit him. With some terrible effort, he dug his nails into the stucco and tried to keep from dying. I couldn't move. I wanted to scream, but my throat felt paralyzed. He tried to turn his face and look at me, but he hadn't that much life left. At last, he fell. I stopped screaming finally. Felt better for it. I bent and looked at my husband's body. He was quite dead. I wiped off the gun, his gun, and threw it behind an acacia bush. Then I walked back to the car, slowly and carefully removing any of my footprints which showed in the loose dirt of the road. At the car, I emptied some cigarette butts from the dashboard ashtray onto the road, dusted my shoes, then turned around and drove home. I put the car in the garage, went in and had my shower, and lay down in the library to wait. A few minutes after the grandfather clock struck 11, the telephone rang. Hello?
Miss Skinner?
This is she.
This is Jonathan Brown, Sheriff's Office. I have some bad news for you.
My husband?
Yes, ma'am. He's been killed. Miss Skinner? Hello, Miss Skinner. You all right?
I waited quietly for a moment. Then I let the phone fall to the floor. I listened until I heard Jonathan Brown hang up. Then I replaced my telephone on its stand, went into the kitchen for some ice, which I put in a large Turkish towel. I then arranged myself carefully and attractively on the living room divan and waited again. In here, please.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. You all right, Miss Skinner? That was a stupid thing for me to do, breaking the news that way, you know.
I'm all right.
Well, I came over as soon as you dropped the phone.
Well, I felt faint suddenly.
Well, ain't no wonder.
Tell me what happened, Mr.
Brown, Jonathan Brown, Sheriff's Office.
Mr. Brown, please sit down.
Oh, thank you. Well, your husband was up at the Johnson house this afternoon, as well as we can figure. Up there on the side of the mountain, you know, and he must have been trying to get into the window, and somehow somebody, well, shot him. You sure you want me to tell you?
I'm sorry. Go on, please.
Well, we looked around the place, couldn't see anything. Though we found the, weapon. It was a gun. Found in the brush near where he was, and no footprints or anything, except tire marks down the main highway and a bunch of cigarette butts where someone must have been sitting in the car, waiting, you know.
Those were my tire marks.
You was up there?
Well, I had an appointment to meet my husband this afternoon at the foot of the road leading up to the Johnson house. He had said that he'd had some business to attend to and would get a ride with this other person. He was very mysterious about it.
Oh?
I waited for an hour or more at the foot of the road. You were so clever to recognize the meaning of those cigarette stubs.
Well,
And when he didn't come, I thought perhaps I was mistaken about the appointment. And so I drove home. Oh, to think of it. Perhaps I'd gone up to the house, I might have saved my poor dear husband's life.
They're not terrible shock, I know.
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'll be all right.
Well, now, don't you worry about a thing, Miss Skinner. The sheriff's office will round up the guilty party or parties and have them brought to trial, you know.
Yes, I'm sure.
I slept well that night for the first time in 10 years. My husband during his lifetime had snored loudly and steadily, and during his later years he had acquired the nervous and distressing habit of grinding his teeth in his sleep. This night all was quiet and peaceful in the house, in my house. And as I say, I slept beautifully. The next few days were also beautifully quiet. A few photographers and newspaper men, but they were kind and gentle and didn't make too much bother. Finally, Mr. Jonathan Brown called to say that he would send a car for me on Friday morning, the next day, as it turned out, to take me to the coroner's inquest. The small courtroom was crowded, and almost everyone there eyed me with great sympathy. The inquest proceeded evenly. There was as yet no evidence as to the identity of my husband's murderer. I again stated that I had left the tire marks and cigarette stubs at the foot of the road that led to the Johnson house. No, I hadn't heard a shot. No, my dear husband had no enemy. Then...
I've had this blackboard brought to court so that I might show the position of the body when found. I think it might be of interest. Very well. Proceed. The body was found just below the first-story window on the left side of the house. The dead man was obviously trying to gain admittance, you know. He didn't die immediately, as I will show you, but stayed alive long enough to try to keep himself from falling, since marks from each of his fingernails were found running down the side of the building. Here, then, is the windowsill, and here are the marks of his fingernails. And here is the spot where the body lay when it was discovered. And here is the house.
As he talked, he watched me.
Ground floor.
And I didn't know why until I heard the first scrape of the chalk against the blackboard. For one awful moment, it was the sound that had been made by my husband as he tried so desperately to hold himself alive. I found myself tightly holding the wooden table in front of me, my arms and body tense, trying not to faint.
Since a large deposit of the dried stucco from the building was found under each of the victim's fingernails, I believe I can best illustrate the manner of the victim's last moments with a physical illustration. Suppose I am the victim, you know, and this blackboard is the side of the building. We hear the gunshots, and then the victim slowly sinks to the ground.
Oh, please. Please, I can't say. Please, don't make that.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you Agnes Moorehead in The 13th Sound. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Between the acts of Suspense, this is Ken Niles for Roma Wines. Tomorrow, on Valentine's Day, delight your Valentine with a gift that's smart, lavish, and in perfect taste. Say it with Roma Champagne, traditional wine of romance. Brilliant, bubbling Roma Champagne is an unforgettable token of your thoughtfulness. For pale gold, sprightly dry Roma California Champagne, made by the world-famous Charmant bulk process, is sparkling wine at its finest. Yes, to make any golden moment live forever, say it with Roma Champagne. And remember, you enjoy an exclusive difference, a better taste in Roma Champagne. For Roma crushes only the choicest grapes, especially selected for fine champagne. Then Roma vintners' unmatched skill, the magic of necessary time, and America's finest wine-making resources guide this grape treasure to rare taste luxury. Finally, from the famed Roma Champagne cellars to you comes better-tasting Roma Champagne. So this Valentine's Day, say it with Roma. Roma Champagne, golden masterpiece of Roma, the greatest name in wine.
And now, Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood sound stage Agnes Moorehead as Mrs. Sally Skinner and William Johnstone as Jonathan Brown in The 13th Sound, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I must have been taken home from the inquest. For the next consciousness I had, I was lying on the guest bed. In the corner sat Mr. Jonathan Brown. He must have seen my eyes open.
Feeling better?
Yes, thank you. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, hey, that's all right. Quite a strain, you know.
Yes, it was quite a strain.
The coroner asked whether it'd be all right to go on without you. Everybody seemed agreed, you know, so we finished up while the doc looked you over.
What happened?
Oh, he said you'd be all right. Shock.
I meant about my husband.
And his death at the hand of persons unknown, you know.
Is there anything further I must do?
Not a thing, Miss Skinner.
It's been very kind.
Well, it's a terrible thing happened to you. Well, I'll be going now if there's nothing more you need from me.
No, nothing, thank you.
Well, goodbye then, and don't you worry. We'll find who did it, you know.
After he had left, I had the time to be angry at myself for my behavior at the inquest. What must the people have thought? To faint only from the noise of a piece of chalk on a blackboard? I wondered if Mr. Brown had suspected anything, because as I remembered back to earlier afternoon, he had been watching me as he drew those silly little diagrams on the board. He hadn't been looking anywhere else, not at the coroner or at any of the reporters, not even at what he was doing. He'd been looking at me. Well, of course he was looking at me. He was showing his sympathy. I slowly allowed myself to return to my former position in the community. I was able now to do the things I'd always wanted to do, but had been restrained from doing by a certain attitude of my husband. He had never liked entertaining. He didn't believe that we should belong to the country club and take a civic pride in the fact that our home was the largest and most beautiful in the community. In fact, it was his desire to sell our lovely home that caused me to finally take that complete and drastic step. The first evening that I accepted an outside invitation was for one of the Wednesday night evenings of bridge at our club. At my table were the president of the bank and his wife. As I sat down, I noticed that a window pane on my left was shattered.
Evening, Miss Gray. Miss Gray.
Well, good evening, Mr. Brown.
Miss Skinner.
Good evening, Mr. Brown.
Well, I'm afraid I'm the culprit here. Playing ball with the kids this afternoon, and I threw one right through your lovely window.
Oh, really?
But I got old Sam here. I brought him along with new painted glass, and he'll fix us up shipshape in no time at all. Go ahead, Sam, right over there.
Yes, Mr. Brown, sure. Don't mind me, folks. I'll be through here in just a jiffy. Don't worry about it.
Oh, incidentally, Miss Skinner, I always meant to ask you whether or not you minded noises, especially. Sharp noises, like, say, chalk on a blackboard.
I don't understand. Chalk on a blackboard?
At the inquest, I always wondered about it. You fainted just when the chalk was scratching across the blackboard.
I don't remember hearing it. I'm afraid I fainted before you drew any diagrams.
I assume that's what you were planning to do, draw a diagram?
That's what I was planning to do, yes, ma'am.
Yes. Does he have to do that?
Is something wrong, Mrs. Skinner?
Does he have to do that?
Mrs. Skinner.
I can't. I stayed at home for the next few days. I canceled all appointments. The heat really was unbearable. In October, I resumed my activities. I began to see people again. I grew especially interested in chamber music. Through my activity, I arranged a musical evening to be given by a group of which I was the second vice president. They planned the formation of a Philharmonic Society eventually. I went to the music hall alone, and I was studying my program when...
Is this seat taken?
Well, good evening, Mr. Brown.
Well, Miss Skinner, good evening. Didn't recognize you, ma'am.
Well, I was to be joined later.
Well, I'll just sit here a moment then. You know, I'm terribly sorry about the other night.
It's really nothing at all for you to be sorry about.
Very kind of you to say that, you know, but I do feel guilty as all sin, being the cause of you getting sick like that.
Really, Mr. Brown, I wasn't sick at all.
Well,
Mr. Gregg told me I'd probably been affected by the heat. It was very close in the club that night, if you'll remember.
yes, well, it was. Well, just so I don't feel it was my fault, you know.
No, I don't want you to feel that it was your fault.
That's very kind of you, you know. If you don't mind, I'll stay here until whoever holds the seat gets here, all right?
That's all right.
We crave your indulgence and a certain open-mindedness for giving a fair chance to the first piece with which we're going to open our program this evening. The title of this piece is The 13th Sound, and the composer is young Julian Carrillo. This piece, because of the unorthodox nature of it, created a veritable furor in New York City some weeks ago on the occasion of its premiere. It's what you'd call, I guess, modern music. And the really unusual thing about it is that the instruments, instead of playing as they usually do in Mozart, Haydn, and such classical veins, play in quarter tones. Now, a quarter tone is somewhere in between the other tones, such as we are accustomed to hearing. So on this following piece, the instruments are not playing, as you would think, out of tune. This is the way it is supposed to sound. Thank you. So now the various members of the quartet will tune their various instruments into these quarter tones, and this is quite a short piece, but I know you're going to like it. Tune up, gentlemen.
This should be very interesting. Think so, Miss Skinner? 13th Sound. Have you heard it?
No, I haven't.
It's too hot again, Miss Skinner? It does get stuffy in here, you know.
Oh, I'm not. It's hot in here.
You're terribly peaky. You sure you're all
I'm
right?
quite all right. Excuse me. Will you let me out? Will you please excuse me? I left Mr. Brown sitting there. My man drove me home. I never liked modern music. I locked all the doors and I turned on all the lights. And then I did a foolish thing. I found a hammer and a piece of board. And I beat and beat and beat and beat on the board with a hammer as hard as I could. And finally the heavy, steady, safe pounding that I made drove the other sharp, shrill, awful noise from my mind. Then I turned out all the lights and opened the windows and went to sleep. I didn't sleep well, but I didn't stay awake either. I hadn't set the alarm next to my bed, and when I first awoke the next morning, for a minute I couldn't remember what had happened. I felt drugged.
got out of bed and put on his lovely chartreuse brocade housecoat and started downstairs. The sun was shining outside. It was a beautiful day. Not the sort of day when you could be disturbed by unrelated noises. I felt grand when I got downstairs. Then I heard... What? I didn't know. I didn't care. I knew only that I had to stop it before it happened to me again. Stop it! Please, stop it!
Huh? Pardon me, Miss...
Get out of here! Get out of here! Who told you to do your work here? Did someone tell you to make that noise near my house?
Why, no, ma'am. The lawnmower, the darn thing wasn't cutting. I had to
Get out! Go on! Get off this property at once!
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Go!
Sure, I didn't know.
Come back, you hear? Don't ever come back! Don't!
Morning, Miss Skinner. Lovely day.
I turned and ran. Right back to my living room. I stood shivering there in a beam of sunlight. I waited for him to come bursting into the room after me. I waited. And then the doorbell rang. Who is it?
It's Mrs. Gray.
Oh, just a moment. Come in.
What, did I disturb you?
Oh, no.
Well, then
not
I
at all.
will come in. But I can only stay a minute.
Would you like some coffee?
Oh, no, thank you. When I was so sick, you remember, the doctor absolutely forbid me having any more coffee.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, sit down, please.
Do you drink much coffee?
No, why do you ask?
Well, I thought perhaps your recent attacks might have been caused by that. Mr. Gregg is a great one for aspirin and salt tablets. I think it's much simpler than that. Cut out coffee.
Well, I think my attacks were just caused by this heat. I plan a sea voyage.
Oh, how splendid. That'll certainly fix you. You know, I don't mean to be disrespectful, heaven knows. But perhaps on the boat, you might meet a fine young man who... Well...
Perhaps.
When do you plan to leave?
This afternoon. I'm leaving from New York.
Oh, you can't.
Pardon?
For the clubhouse, the unveiling ceremonies are this afternoon.
Oh, I'd forgotten.
Well, you simply can't leave. We have no one who can replace you on the speaker's platform.
Oh, well, all right then, Mrs. Gregg. I'll stay for the ceremony. I drove to the new clubhouse with Mr. and Mrs. Gregg. The building was really very lovely. It was almost ready for occupancy. We were unveiling a heroic figure which graced the entranceway. Our speaker's platform was built alongside the figure, and quite a few of the members and their families were sitting on the wooden benches in the front patio, waiting for the ceremonies to begin.
Isn't this exciting?
Oh, yes, very.
You ladies have done a marvelous job.
Oh, thank you.
What's that fellow doing up there?
Where?
See, up on the roof there, that truckman.
Oh, yes. Makes me nervous to see people at such heights.
Awfully close to the edge. I guess he knows his business, I imagine.
Yes, I suppose it...
I'm very anxious to hear your little talk, Mrs. Skinner.
Well, thank you.
I think you've managed admirably since you're unfortunate. Well, you understand.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I think we should get on with it, eh?
Well, I believe it'll be only a few more minutes.
What
is it? What is it?
Good heavens, look, that workman. He's going to fall.
Can't someone catch him? He's hanging on the ledge.
Some of the men are running up there now.
But they've got to catch him.
Oh, they will.
They got to catch him.
What? He's falling. Oh, turn your eyes, ladies. Turn your eyes. What?
I did it.
Why, nonsense,
I
Mrs.
did
Skinner.
it.
You had nothing to do with
I
it.
did it. I killed him.
Why,
I
not
did
hurt
it.
at all.
I did it. I did it.
Oh, you're not well.
I did
Here.
it. Listen to
Let
me.
me take you home.
Listen to me. Listen
You'll
to me.
be all right.
Listen to me. I killed him. Listen to me. Don't you understand? I killed him, Mr. Brown. Make him stop the noise. Did you hear it? I killed him.
I know, man. It's going to be all right, you know. You just come along with me.
Sign it, Jonathan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shame. Yeah. People do funny things.
Yeah. Did you pay the fella?
Mm-hmm. He's clever, very clever.
Sure is. I really thought he was falling off of that building.
Used to be an acrobat.
Oh. Say, how do he make that noise?
Yeah. Holding 10-penny nails in his hands. Scraped them along the face of the building as he slid down.
Yeah, did you think of that, too?
Mm-hmm.
Made an awful racket.
Uh-huh. Pretty nice lady, you know.
Yeah.
What the devil are you doing?
Oh, fixing my nails, I guess.
Well, cut it out, will you?
Sure. What's the matter with you?
That noise makes me nervous, I guess. You know?
Suspense. Presented by Roma Wines. R-O-M-A. Roma, America's favorite wines. This is Ken Niles returning for a curtain call with a brilliant star of tonight's suspense play, Agnes Moorehead. Apparently, Agnes, you're not superstitious, accepting the lead in a play called The 13th Sound on February 13th.
Superstitions are no phobia with me, Ken, but I do have one.
What is it?
I refuse to give a party for 13 people.
Yes, but even a 13th guest is in luck, Agnes, when you serve Roma Port. Ruby red, fragrant, nectar-sweet Roma California Port adds warmth to the welcome for everyone. And Roma Port is so easy to serve. You simply pour, and hospitality reigns.
Yes, Ken. Roma Port does make entertaining a pleasure.
Not only that, Agnes, there's a difference you can taste in all Roma wines. And this better taste begins with the choicest grapes in all California. Then Roma's unmatched skill and winemaking resources guide these luscious grapes unhurriedly to tempting taste perfection. Later, Roma places this rich taste treasure with Roma wines of years before. And finally, Roma selects from the world's greatest wine reserves for your pleasure.
Well, it's easy to see why Roma wines taste better, Ken.
Yes, Agnes, and here's the most conclusive proof of all. A gift basket of Roma wines for you and your guests to enjoy with the compliments of Roma, the greatest name in wine.
I'm delighted, Ken. Thank you very much. And good night.
Tonight's suspense play was written by Kathy and Elliot Lewis. Next Thursday, same time, you will hear Ann Baxter as star of Suspense.
Produced and directed by William Spear for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California. Stay tuned for the thrilling adventures of the FBI in peace and war, following immediately over most of these stations.
In the coming weeks, Suspense will present such stars as James Stewart, William Bendix, Eddie Bracken, and others. Make it a point to listen each Thursday to Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Suspense. In the finest homes and restaurants where distinguished hospitality is a gracious tradition, the choice in wines is C-R-E-S-T-A, B-L-A-N-C-A, Cresta Blanca, Cresta Blanca. Yes, the best served Cresta Blanca. And whatever the occasion, there's a magnificent Cresta Blanca California wine to bring rare pleasure to every discriminating taste. That's why, for gracious dining this holiday weekend, the smart hostess offers her guests distinguished Cresta Blanca wines from the finest of the vine. Shenley's Cresta Blanca Wine Company, Livermore, California.
And now, for Roma Wines, that's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines for your everyday pleasure, Shenley brings you radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Tonight, Roma Wines of Fresno, California present Alan Baxter as star of a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Shenley by William Spear. Alan Baxter in Money Talks, a remarkable tale of suspense.
I had my credentials and letters of recommendation in my hand, was wearing the dark blue with a conservative pinstripe and the Van Heusen collar with a knit tie, and was showing it all off to Mr. Purley. Mr. Purley was one of a mere 8 vice presidents of the Bankers Industrial Trust Company. He had a big, shiny desk with nothing on it and a kind of a mind that went right along with it. He was my meat.
Well, Mr. Goff, of course the bank does occasionally have openings for the right kind of man.
Well, I don't like to blow my own horn, Mr. Purley, but...
have you had any previous experience in banking, Mr. Goff?
No, sir, I haven't, but, there's this.
Yes. So you're a graduate of the Harvard Business School?
Yes, sir. Investment banking was my field.
Well, I must say, Mr. Goff, your grades there were exceptional, most exceptional.
I worked hard, Mr. Purley. Banking was my first love, you might say, ever since I can remember. It's always been more than just a business to me. It's been, well, I suppose you could call it an ideal, a sacred trust, and the best tradition of our financial and national institutions. I guess that sounded a little romantic.
No, not at all, Mr. Goff, not at all. I see you graduated 4 years ago, Mr. Goff. Now, during the past 4 years?
Well, you know how it's been with everybody the last 4 years.
Oh, of course. I didn't see you wearing any veteran's insignia.
I don't like to be ostentatious about it, Mr. Purley.
Oh, yes. Do you understand, Mr. Goff, that you'd have to start in a rather minor capacity?
Oh, I'm not worried about that, sir. Frankly, Mr. Purley, I'm ambitious. And without being conceited, I'm confident I can make my mark with Bankers Industrial. You'll give me a chance.
I like your attitude, Mr. Goff. You come in tomorrow morning. I think we can work something out.
Thank you, Mr. Purley. This is a day I'll never forget. I think I can safely predict that you won't either. I gave him the old do-or-die, look-him-straight-in-the-eye handshake, and he left. That was more than 2 years ago. The whole thing was phony as an $8 bill, all but the part about ambition. There was nothing phony about that. I was going to make my mark with the Bankers Industrial, all right. About $100,000 worth. You probably know how a bank works, the bookkeeping, I mean. All day long, the tellers pay it out and take it in, and then at 3 o'clock, the bank closes. Only that's when the work really begins. Because then the tellers have to hand over their checks and receipts and statements of cash on hand to girls, you see, running those big calculating machines. When it's all over, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth in a big bank like this one, it has to balance out to the last penny. I mean penny. That's where Anita Willoughby came in. She was young and demure-looking, but sort of intense, too, if you know what I mean. She looked like just what the doctor ordered. Of course, I couldn't start anything in the bank. Banks are poison on office romances. You'll see why after a while. But a couple of weeks of little attentions, and I was ready. It just happened that I was looking into the window of a men's furnishing store. She was passing by on her way home. I was lighting a cigarette, and it just happened. I turned suddenly, and of course, it just happened. I bumped right into her.
Oh.
Why, Miss Willoughby. Oh, I am sorry.
Oh, it's all right, Mr. Goff. It just startled me a little.
It's terribly clumsy of me. You on your way home? Going my way?
I don't know. What is your way, Mr. Goff?
Well, as a matter of fact, I was just going down here a couple of blocks to where I left my car. You have a car, Miss Willoughby?
No, unfortunately, I don't.
Well, then, perhaps I could give you a lift, Miss Willoughby.
Perhaps you could, Mr. Goff.
Well, we wound up having dinner. It went on from there. After the first 10 minutes, I knew that demure act was strictly something for Mr. Purley and the adding machine. Anita Willoughby was smart. She'd been around and she knew the score.
In a way, I was glad of this because it would take less sales talk later on. But in another way, it was too bad, really. It was too bad because I was going to have to kill her.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you Alan Baxter in Money Talks. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma. That's R-O-M-A, Roma California Wines. Those better-tasting wines enjoyed by more Americans than any other wine. Speaking of enjoyment, here's a practical hint from Roma to make your holiday weekend cool and comfortable. Whether you're planning a trip to the country, a gay picnic at the beach, or a quiet rest at home, keep cooler with refreshing Roma wine and soda. Simply half-filled glasses with Roma Burgundy, Roma Sauterne, or your favorite Roma wine. Fill up with ice and soda, sweeten to taste, and garnish with a fragrant sprig of mint or colorful fruit slices. You'll find delicious Roma wine and soda America's smartest way to cool off. A wonderful way to say welcome when friends drop in. A marvelous thirst quencher anytime. To beat the heat, you can't beat refreshing Roma wine and soda iced. Made with better-tasting Roma wine from America's greatest reserves of fine wine.
And now, Roma Wines bring back to our New York soundstage Alan Baxter in Money Talks, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
If you're cool-headed and cold-blooded, if you have a plan, if there's something you really want, all the laws and locks in the world won't stop you from latching onto it. That's what I'd always figured, and that's what I'd figured now. That's why I sold 2 years of my life to a bank for a lousy $60 a week. That's why I made the play for Anita. That's why I was going to have to kill Anita. But before that, there was a lot of other ground I had to cover with Anita. I spent 6 months more covering it, and then I was ready. We were having dinner at a quiet little place we used to go to, and Anita was happy as a lark. I was bearing down hard on an act I'd been working up all week.
What's the matter, Cliff?
No, I don't know.
Oh, come on. You've been moody like this for days. What's on your mind?
Well, it's about us, I guess.
Well, what about us?
Well, I don't know. When I first started to work in that salt mine 2 years ago, I thought I was going to set the world on fire. But now...
What's all this got to do with us, Cliff?
What kind of a life is it to look forward to? 2 years and I'm third assistant cashier. Maybe in 10 years I'll even get to be first cashier. So what?
Well, you didn't expect them to make you majority stockholder, did you? Or if you did, you shouldn't have.
Honey, I wish we could get away from here. Go places, see things, have fun.
So do I, Cliff.
Yeah, but on what?
Well, maybe in 10 years or so, when you are first cashier.
All right, laugh at me. I got it coming.
It's a job, that's all, Cliff. That's the way most jobs are.
But it's not the kind of job you want your husband to have, is it?
My husband?
What do you think I've been talking about all this time? What's the use if we can't look forward to getting married and having some fun, some romance, some glamour in our lives?
Well, it's a funny proposal, Cliff, but I like what it says.
Yeah, but if some guy with $100,000 came along, I can't blame you.
I'd rather have you with my 100,000, Cliff.
Darling, why can't we have both? Where's the justice in it? When I think of the millions in cash money that's gone through my hands in the past 2 years, what have I got?
Doesn't it make you feel funny sometimes, Cliff?
What?
Handling all that money.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I can almost hear it talking to me.
So can I.
You too, huh? Listen, Nita. Did you ever get to thinking how you could get that 100,000?
Of course I have. But I never thought of a way it'd work.
Suppose you had. Suppose there was one.
Listen, Cliff. I've got no scruples. You only live once. But I'm allergic to penitentiaries.
I asked you a question.
You mean a way that was absolutely certain? Guaranteed safe?
Yeah.
I'd buy it.
Listen, baby, you know what's the matter with all those guys that try to clip a bank? They're not dishonest. No, I mean it. Look what happens. What always happens. The guy's hard up, or he's got a tip in the market or the races or something, and he dips into the till.
Yeah.
And after a while, he takes a little more and then a little more, but he always figures he's going to pay it back. He covers it up with a lot of fancy bookkeeping. Till along comes some auditor that's a little smarter than he is, and Bluey, the big vacation, the long-term lease. All because the guy is fundamentally honest.
Well, you can't win, I guess.
Oh, listen, you know the guys that do? The big shots, the presidents, board chairman. When those guys clip a bank, they grab themselves anywhere from $100,000 to a cool $1 million one fine night and blow. You never hear of them again. But you can bet they're sitting pretty somewhere. You know why? Because they were dishonest. They planned it. They'd laugh themselves to death at the idea of paying it back.
Only you're not a big shot, darling.
Listen, they do it all at one clip. They're out of the country before anybody finds out. That's what I'm talking about.
Sure, but they have the chance. You don't.
No. But us, between us, we do.
We?
Listen, Dick Breen, the first cashier, takes his vacation in August. Every Thursday, Jerry Malone II goes over to investment. They're teaching that side of the business. That means that for 2 Thursdays in August, I take his place and consign for cash from the vault.
But, Cliff...
Wait a minute. And all I have to do is give you a receipt so that when you add it up at the end of the day, we get our balance. Don't you see it?
What kind of a receipt?
Any kind. One of the big payroll receipts will do it.
But how you...
How do I get it? I write it myself. You won't question it.
Oh.
Now, do you get it?
Oh, it's awful risky, Cliff. What about the next day?
That's what I've been trying to tell you. You don't wait for the next day. Do you realize how far from these United States you can get in 18 or 20 hours nowadays? You can get to places where you can live like a king for the rest of your life on $100,000.
The rest of my life, Cliff?
Sure, baby, sure. Why not? Well, what about it?
All right, Cliff. I'll do it.
The first Thursday in August was 6 weeks away, but waiting for them to pass was like living through 6 lifetimes. We went over it again and again, every detail, every possible variation. There's no use saying I wasn't nervous, because I was. A couple of times I even thought Nita and I were being followed in the car. It was that bad. But I managed to keep under control at the bank, and the big day finally rolled around. I waited until about 11:45, just before the noon rush hour, and then I marched over to Mr. Purley's desk, trying to look casual and nonchalant. But this was the worst part. Right here, right now. My hands were sweating and my mouth was dry until I began to be afraid the words would stick in my throat. There was nothing to it, really. It's the kind of things that's done every day in a bank, but not the way I was doing it. Sure, I was scared.
Oh. Hello, Cliff. What is it?
You want to countersign this for me, Mr. Purley? $104,000.
Cash?
Yeah, Eastern Chemical. They want us to get their payroll together on Thursdays after this. Some kind of new accounting system over there.
Oh. There you are.
Thank you, Mr. Purley. There it was, just as simple as that. After all those weeks of worry and jumpy nerves, there it was. I went to the vault and drew the cash, and the worst was over. I came out on the floor again. The noon crowds are beginning to line up in front of the windows, keeping everybody on the jump and minding their own business. I took over Harrison's cage, same as I always did at the lunch hour, and I don't think he even noticed the canvas bag I was carrying. It's that usual. After he left, I simply took a minute to transfer the cash from the bag into my own briefcase, and that was that. When he came back, I strolled over to Anita's machine with the Eastern Chemical receipt that I'd made up the night before. Oh, Miss Willoughby.
Yes, Mr. Goff.
Eastern Chemical has changed their payroll day to Thursday. Here's the receipt. Don't forget to include it in your tally.
Yes, Mr. Goff.
There was nothing to do now but sweat it out until 5 o'clock. Went out to lunch myself, but I didn't eat much. I was beginning to get nervous again. Went back to my desk and tried to look busy. But I kept thinking of all the things that could go wrong. If Purley happened to call Eastern Chemical on some other business. Or if it turned out to be one of those days that come about twice a year when you can't get a balance and you can't find the error and everybody has to go over every transaction of the day until they do. That 104,000 item would stand out like a red flag at a businessman's lunch. I was beginning to think about what I would have to do afterwards, too. Oh, that wasn't getting me anywhere, and I knew it. Finally, 3 o'clock came, and the bank closed. The gang went to work on their totals, and the girls began to bring me their balance sheets. Nita was the last one.
Here you are, Mr. Goff.
Balance?
Uh-huh. How are the others?
Well, I guess that's all then, Miss Willoughby. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Goff.
Oh, Mr. Pearlie.
Oh, yes, Cliff. Oh, got your balance?
Yes, sir. All in order, I guess. Here you are.
Uh-huh. All right, Cliff, thank you. Well, going to do a little homework tonight?
Huh?
A pretty bulky briefcase you're taking home there.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I wanted to do a little reading up on that South American situation.
Good boy. Well, good night, Cliff.
Good night, Mr. Pearlie. Well, I had $100,000 in wonderful bright green folding money. Driving out of town, I felt edgy and depressed. I even got the idea I was being followed again. I knew what it was all about, of course. It was Anita, what I was going to have to do. I tried to forget it up until now. I tried to kid myself there'd be some other way, but I knew there wasn't. She was smart, too smart. She'd have the little boys in blue after me before I could get to the airport. One thing was for sure. I wasn't splitting that dough with her or anyone else. So it had to be this way. It just had to be. So far, I was pretty sure the idea had never entered her head. I'd let her get the plane tickets to Mexico, although, of course, I had others of my own to Rio. And I told her to meet me at the little shack I had in the country because it would be safer. She'd already arrived when I got there.
Cliff?
It's okay, baby. Are you ready?
Of course. But you're early. Are you sure?
You mean, did I get it? Look at that. What do you think that stuff is, huh? How about that?
So you did. You really did.
Of course I did. Did you think I wouldn't?
Well, something might have gone wrong, Cliff.
Not with me, baby. Not with me. Have you got that Eastern Chemical receipt? I told you to slip it out of the heap when you got through.
Yeah, I've got it.
Let's see it.
Here.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's all I need.
That's what?
I'm sorry about this, Nita. Honestly. I really am.
Cliff! No! Cliff!
I got the rope and tied her up and tied a towel over her head, mostly because I didn't want to see her face. And I got out the gasoline, spread about half of it around the room. I took the rest of it down the cellar and poured it in a big shallow pan I had down there. There was a candle set in the middle of the pan, and it came about 3 inches above the level of the gasoline. It would take about 2 hours to burn down. By that time, I'd be in a plane over the Atlantic Ocean. The way it was pretty rugged, and I felt sort of bad about it. But you always hear that they suffocate from the smoke before the fire ever gets to them. So I lit the candle, and I got out of there. Well, it was over. It was done with now. And I began to hear it again. All the way down there in the clipper, I could hear that money talking. Maybe I'd get a rancho, one of those cattle outfits with a big hacienda and a couple dozen servants. There's plenty of dough in Argentine beef. Or maybe it'd be oil or nitrates. All I knew for sure was that this 100,000 was only the beginning. With smart operating, I'd roll it up to $1 million before I was 40. In Rio, I registered under my new name of Clarence Gage for the best suite in the best hotel in town. Got ready to relax. Next day, I got the Times that they fly down here for the big shots, and there it was on the suburban page. It found Anita, and she'd been identified by jewelry and stuff. It mentioned that she was employed at the Bankers Industrial and hinted she might have been in some trouble there. That was all to the good, and I relaxed even more. And then the next day, I got a very funny feeling. All the way up in the elevator, I felt it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And when I opened my door, I liked it even less.
Mr. Gage?
Yeah? Who are you?
Gorman's the name. Sam Gorman. You and me have got a little business to transact.
Have we? I don't think I know you, Mr. Gorman.
So maybe this heater will jog your memory, huh?
Guns never remind me of anything but trouble, and I don't like trouble.
But you got it, Mr. Goff. You got it.
All right. What's the pitch?
You mean this heater doesn't remind you of anything? Like money? About $100,000? Or somebody named Anita? You got a rotten memory, haven't you?
You're a cop. You're wasting your time.
A cop? I know some guys who get a big kick out of that. No, I'm no cop, Mr. Goff.
Well, let's talk then. What do you want?
Can't you guess, Mr. Goff?
I wouldn't try.
I want the dough, Mr. Goff. The money.
What makes you think you're going to get it?
Well, for one thing, this.
Wouldn't try that again. Gun or no gun.
No?
Cut it out, Sam. I said no rough stuff.
Nita.
Yeah? Well, I owe him at least that much.
Oh, don't be silly, Sam. All we want is the money. Now start looking for it.
Sure, he just tried to fry you in gasoline, that's all. No rough stuff.
It'd just make complications with the local police, and you know it. Now stop being jealous and find the money.
Nita. They said... Well, it said in the paper
That little fire at your place? Oh, they found somebody, all right. It just didn't happen to be me.
You don't mean... You didn't deliberately...
Get him, will you? I don't think the guy's got much of a sense of humor, should he?
It was somebody Sam didn't like. And nobody that'll be missed.
All right, I've got no sense of humor. Maybe I'm dumb, too. I don't get it.
Well, you see, Cliff, we never did like the idea of leaving the country.
You said it.
But this way, I'm off the hook. We can go back any time we want to, because legally, I'm dead. See?
And may I ask who this we is that suddenly got into the conversation?
Me and Sam, my husband.
Your husband?
That's me.
Mm-hmm. I went to work in the bank for the same reason you did, Cliff. It was going to be a stick-up, and I was going to help from the inside. Only your way seems so much better.
Well, how do you like that?
Yeah. How does it feel, Wonder Boy?
And me trying to tell you how to be dishonest.
There don't have to be any hard feelings, Cliff. At least I don't have any. It was really Sam's fault what happened to me.
What?
Or almost did. He lost you somehow, following you out to the place. We were almost certain that you'd try it, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I still owe him some lumps for that.
100,000 really wasn't enough for both of us.
For 2 bits, I'd give it to him.
Sam, haven't you found that money yet?
No, come on. Where is it, Wonder Boy?
You don't think I have it here, do you?
I do. Look for a brown leather briefcase, Sam. 2 will get you 10. It's all right there.
Yeah? Well, here's the briefcase. Well. I guess Wonder Boy just didn't have much confidence in banks, huh? Not that I blame him.
Well, I guess we better get going.
Listen, Nita, it was a bum deal all the way around.
Uh-huh.
And I'm really
Wasn't
sorry. I'm sorry about that other part, about you, I mean.
I believe it. You even said so. No hard feelings, Cliff.
I think Wonder Boy is leading up to something.
Yeah, I can see you're the intellectual type. All right. How about leaving me a little?
Nuts.
Why not, Sam?
Just 1,000 or so.
What's the use? They won't get him any place, even down here.
Listen, you don't think I'm going to stick around down here now, do you? I got to get back to the States and make another pitch.
Give him the money, Sam. 1,000. And, Cliff.
Yeah?
I'd be a little careful about going back to the States if I were you.
Sure. That goes double, Nita.
What does?
About being careful.
I don't get it.
You will. When that money begins to talk. Talk about honor among thieves. But it could have been worse. I'd only lost 2 years of my life, not all of it. So a month later, I was out on the West Coast, credentials, dark blue pinstripe, Van Heusen and all, and this time the sucker was a Mr. Ambrose.
Uh-huh. Well, your record at the business school is certainly impressive, Mr. Gage.
Well, I worked hard, Mr. Ambrose. Mm-hmm. Banking has always seemed more than just a business to me. It's been, well, an ideal, a sacred trust, and the best tradition of our financial and national institutions.
Ah, you've got the right spirit, Mr. Gage. Come in tomorrow morning, and I think we can work something out.
So it all began all over again. Only about 3 months later, there was a little man in a derby hat standing in line in front of my window, and his business was strictly personal.
You Clarence Gage?
Yes, that's right.
Can we have a little private talk?
Well, I guess... Oh, can you take over for me a minute, Harry?
And it may be for a little bit longer than a minute.
Well, now, what can I do for you, Mr.
You used to work under the name of Clifford Goff on the East Coast.
Oh.
Yeah. Headquarters.
Listen, you got me all wrong on that. I didn't have anything to do with it. What would I be working here for if I had that kind of dough? I can prove to you I never got a cent.
Now, wait a minute. You knew the girl, didn't you?
Sure. When I heard what had happened, well, I'd been going around with her, and I got scared, that's all.
Yeah, I bet you did. Well, she's dead.
Anita? Oh, no, she's not dead. It was another girl that...
Get your coat, Mr. Goff. You're under arrest for attempted murder and grand larceny.
Well, it's a funny thing what happens to people when they hear that money begin to talk. I guess Anita finally heard it, too, before she died. You see, Sam Gorman had started a big gambling joint in Las Vegas, and it was held up, and he was killed. There was a girl with him that was killed, too, Anita. But before she died, she talked plenty, told him everything. Well, she won't talk anymore, but that money will. Wonder who that money is talking to now.
In just a moment, we will bring you Alan Baxter, tonight's star of Suspense.
Presented by Roma. That's R-O-M-A. Roma Wines, America's largest selling wines. When you enjoy your favorite Roma wine, you taste the rich reward of nature's treasure. Selected grapes, pressed at the peak of taste goodness, then guided unhurriedly with the ancient skill of Roma master vintners and winemaking resources unmatched in America to taste perfection. These Roma wines are placed with mellow Roma wines of years before. And from these, the world's greatest wine reserves, Roma later selects for your pleasure. This holiday weekend, when entertaining friends, serve Roma California wines. Yes, for a grand and glorious Fourth, enjoy better tasting amber Roma sherry, ruby red Roma port, or golden Roma muscatel. And you enjoy America's favorite wines, now at lowest prices in years.
This is Alan Baxter. It was a great pleasure to appear on tonight's broadcast of Suspense. Next week, Suspense will again originate from New York, when Roma Wines will bring you one of the most provocative and glamorous actresses in America, Miss Gloria Swanson. Good night.
Tonight's Suspense play was written by Robert L. Richards. Next Thursday, same time, you will hear Miss Gloria Swanson as star of Suspense. Produced for Shenley by William Spear. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.